888-54107.
Germany's chancellor attends a ceremony lighting the first candle of a giant menorah at Berlin's Brandenburg Gate.
In the face of rising anti-Semitism, Olaf Scholz wants to show his support for Jewish life in Germany. Since the October 7th Hamas attacks and Israel's subsequent bombing of Gaza, the number of anti-Semitic incidents in Germany has quadrupled. The Brandenburg Gate was once used in the Holocaust by Hitler as a symbol of Nazi power. Today, it's a symbol of Germany's commitment to protecting Jewish life.
And that's the BBC's Damien McGuinness. Britain's government says Russia's intelligence services have targeted high-profile British politicians, civil servants, and journalists with cyber espionage and malicious cyber activity, part of a sustained attempt to interfere in UK politics. That according to the British Foreign Office. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Mexican Supreme Court has overturned Mexico City's 2022 ban on bullfighting.
That opens the way for events to resume, possibly as soon as this month. A panel of justices voted to overturn a May 2022 injunction that said bullfights violated city residents' rights to a healthy environment free from violence. The panel did not explain their arguments for overturning the ban, but fight organizers claimed it violated their right to continue the tradition. The capital had a history of almost 500 years of bullfighting, but there have been no fights since the 2022 injunction. Keith Peters reporting.
The murder of a visiting nurse in Connecticut sparking renewed calls to better protect healthcare workers from violence. Joyce Grayson was killed October 28th when she went to a halfway house for sex offenders before an appointment with a client who had a violent past. Police say the patient is a suspect, but no one has been charged. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes.
Kind of cool right now. Feels a little chilly coming into work, but let's get warm today and tomorrow.
I thought it was kind of nice this morning, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just hit it's 34 right now. So
right. There's a little frost on the vehicle, but other than that, it's nice.
But we're supposed to be 76 for a high today.
Ooh, dang.
Enjoy it. Because today, tomorrow's going to be warm.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow's going to get windy, but then we're getting cold over the weekend.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to be a high of 50. High of 50 on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Our overnight low Saturday night is 22.
Oh, wow.
And then a high of 58 on Sunday.
So if you're heading out to the carriage rides, bundle up.
It's going to be a little chilly.
Bring blankets.
Yeah, but enjoy today. 76 today, nice. 73 but windy tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're talking gust into 30 tomorrow, but it's supposed to be 73. So
yeah.
Take it. It's wild, man.
December, it's 73 out there. It's wild.
It's wild, man. But happy Thursday, everybody. Hope your day's going well. I didn't watch the debate because I don't have that channel.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have news. I thought I did, but I didn't.
Was it on Newsmax?
News Nation.
Oh, News Nation.
Yeah, and I didn't have that channel, so I didn't watch it. So I end up watching The Masked Singer.
You can't expect to get ratings if you're going to bury your programming. I mean, come on.
Well, I just don't have that channel. I think when my wife scaled back our DirecTV,
right,
about 6-8 months ago, that was one of the channels.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Back.
The people that plan this debate, you shouldn't put it somewhere on some obscure cable network. It should be on network TV.
Yeah. Well, this has been like the 4th or 5th of these things, so I've seen enough. So I wasn't too disappointed, but yeah, I missed it last night. So yeah, so watch Masked Singer. I won't give it away. I know it's too soon. Somebody may record it because you're watching the debate, and I want to know who got kicked off Masked
All right,
Singer.
fine. I'll give it away. It was Ramaswamy. Pulled the mask off, and it was him.
Yeah, same people, weirdly enough.
Yeah. Chris Christie was just dressed up as a larger Chris Christie. It was very odd.
Yeah. Well, we found out who Tiki is, and I think once the clues and everything, I was yep, of course it is. It was Rock Night last night, and so actually one of the people revealed was a rocker of the era. So,
really? Okay.
Weirdly enough, got kicked off singing Kiss songs.
Was it one of their own?
No, it wasn't a Kiss member.
Okay. Like,
but same genre.
Okay.
For the people that care, they're gonna be mad, but I don't care.
If those
I'll
people,
give you a hint.
Okay.
18 and life to go.
Oh, okay.
Your crime is time.
Dang. Wow. That's a big get.
That was one of the ones yesterday. So
not bad.
And then who was the other one? Now I gotta remember who the other one that was kicked off. Now I don't remember. Oh, it was a double elimination last night. So, but anyway, that show's not that good.
It peaked like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like we've done everything we can with it now.
Yeah. I do have a general curiosity on some of the celebrities that do the show though. But I'm at that age where it's 50-50.
Right.
Like I'll know the legends, but then they'll have like YouTube sensation or social media person. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I thought this is celebrities.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they also do politicians and stuff,
well,
too.
they have big name, A-list or legendary,
Like, what reaction did you think you were going to get when Rudy Giuliani was revealed as
Right.
one of the dudes? Like, what were you going for?
I'm just surprised he did it. I'm
Right.
like, really? Why would you do that?
Oh,
Why did
dude,
Yeah.
you know the inside of that costume smelled so bad after the fact.
All of these.
He's just, well, yeah, but with Rudy's flop sweat, it would just, that would be rough.
When Mickey Rourke was in one, I bet that was pretty funky, too.
Yeah, that's true. He does look like he lives a lot through his face.
Yeah, but then they dusted off some 80s, like Bret Michaels came on and sang a song, and actually Kelly Osbourne, I almost said Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Osbourne was one of the Clue celebrities that came out and would help to give a clue on each of the celebrities after they perform.
You know what that show is really good for? Is manufacturers of costumes, of like, cosplay costumes.
Yeah.
Because they're like single-handedly keeping those people in business.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, the costumes are very elaborate.
They're very elaborate, and you know those aren't cheap.
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
I've seen even basic, like...
I'm sure they're $1,000 a piece to make one of those. They're just crazy.
Even basic, like, furry costumes, like, people who want to, I've been told.
Right.
Entry level for, like, a furry, like, a good costume is, like, a couple $1,000s.
And then, you can, I think, personally, sometimes the costume gives away a little bit of the type of celebrity.
Like they add in, like, a wink to it?
Well, if it's, like, some of the costumes, you can tell they're mobile, and they can move pretty easily. And generally, those are your singer-dancer types that, but if they're more of a celebrity or older, they'll put them in, like, an egg or something like that that's not really mobile.
You don't have to move around a lot.
It's just kind of standing on the stage singing. But so I'm like, okay, it's a person in an egg. It's either an older person or a Muppet or something like that.
Spent an awful lot of time analyzing Masked Singer, Mike.
I've seen a lot of episodes.
For somebody who's just a passing fan.
It's on. So I'm an observant dude.
It's like, go back 13 frames. There.
Back and to the left.
The coffee cup.
My wife's convinced John Snyder is one of the celebrities that hasn't been revealed yet.
Oh, really?
I think she's right, too. So we'll see. He's still in the game. He wasn't on last night. Because they do it weird now with these different categories, and so not every celebrity's on until, they kind of, it's like a NCAA basketball tournament.
And that's the other thing, too, is there's like, it's like split up and bracketed or whatever.
Yeah. Category A, B,
they gotta
D
make
celebrities. Yeah.
They got to really stretch it out as far as they can.
Well, it's because it's a popular show, and they probably ordered 27 episodes of it, so they got to make it, we need more celebrities and more, so they're doing it. And quite frankly, I think it's, for a lot of these celebrities, it's a platform for them to kind of promote, like, especially for celebrities that haven't been in the limelight for a while, and they got a new album or a new venture they're promoting.
Right.
This is kind of a good vehicle for that kind of thing for them. So, and they really, it's really marketed up now compared to when it first started, where now it's like, it's Trolls Night to promote the new Trolls movie or whatever it is. It's very synergized with the corporate world here. So
they've found a way.
But the thing that keeps me in is, I'm generally curious who the celebrities are, and quite frankly, the costumes are pretty cool. There's some I'm like, wow, that's a cool costume, and then you're like, did all that for that celebrity? That's just me. But anyway, happy Thursday.
Yes.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay some interviews today. Amy McVeigh-Tejas joined us yesterday, just give us an update with the Historical Society and talking Christmas ideas if you're looking for some Christmas shopping. Historical Society's got you covered. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to replay our interview we had with the folks from Walker Aviation Museum. Robert and Doug joined us, gave us an update there, so we'll play that for you about 8:15. And then you're mentioning being a little chilly this weekend for carriage rides. We're going to replay our interview we had last week with Larry Martin, talking about the Lions carriage rides, which this weekend.
This weekend and next weekend.
And then also talking a little bit about the Roswell Literacy Council. So we'll play that for you in the 9 o'clock hour.
Yes, indeed.
Plus, we'll have all of the features that include the newsies, and the sportses, and all those things. Sorry. Got a little Letterkenny in me. And we got all that for you. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure will be crossing our area today. Not much effect on things except for gusty wind up to 30 miles an hour. We'll be in the low 70s on the afternoon high, and we should have sunshine. Upper 30s to low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then very gusty wind possible on Friday, going up to the low and mid 70s, but it should stay sunny. Cooler for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 34 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 64%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. Sunny and 76 today with southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 36 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, another sunny and warm day. High of 73. Winds will be picking up, though. Out of the west. Initially 5 to 10 miles per hour, but as the day progresses, tomorrow you'll see those winds increase 15 to 20, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour by Friday afternoon. Friday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 33 degrees, north winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And for the weekend, Saturday, sunny, high of only 50. Winds will remain breezy out of the north, 15 to 25. As I mentioned, Saturday night, we're looking at an overnight low of 22 under clear skies. It's going to be chilly. And then Sunday, sunny skies with a high of 58. It looks like we'll be hanging out in the upper 50s, near 60 for hunks of next week. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll play our interview with Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
I think we've all had the experience of getting our child some big, expensive present. He tears it open and looks at it and smiles and squeals with joy, and then he spends all the rest of the day playing with the box. Drives us crazy. At this time of year, we spend a lot of time trying to get the perfect Christmas present for all of our family members. And as soon as Christmas is over, they're often forgotten about. Wouldn't it be more meaningful and less stressful to focus on the time we get to spend with our family and friends? Even more importantly, we should take this time to remember what the season is really about and teach the importance of it to our children. This is the time to remember the birth of our Savior. and commit to remembering his love for us every day of the year. Jesus gave us the best present of all, his saving grace and love. Let's share that gift with everyone we know. Join us as we learn more about the best gift ever.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
There's a Honda for every holiday adventure. Whether it's traveling to the holiday family dinner in an efficient Accord hybrid, or heading to a hike to burn it off in a powerful CR-V hybrid. Find your new Honda during Happy Honda Days. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2024 Accord Hybrid and 2024 CR-V Hybrid.
Happy Honda Days are here, and just in time for the best deal of the year. Visit Roswell Honda today.
See dealer for financing details.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh is back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. Kind of in terms of us, it's a bit of a quiet time. I mean, it's not, but it is. I mean, we still have our meetings. We're still having our holiday get-togethers, but as far as like our tent pole, after our Mary Lou Glass Heritage Dinner, that's kind of, we've settled down for the year here for a little bit on some
I'm not working 15-hour days. I'm working like 10-hour days. But we are like quiet for some.
We're busy
Our quiet is really high speed compared to a lot. It's never really quiet. We have a lot going on.
It's behind-the-scenes stuff, getting things ready, making sure insurances are good, and making sure things are taken care of, scholarship season.
Yes,
it's a lot of that stuff.
If you're listening on the behalf of the Historical Society for Southeast Mexico, it's scholarship time for New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy. I can't believe it's time. They'll be graduating next week. They've got awards. I want to brag on them for a minute.
I'm just glad they're back doing their thing.
Heck yeah.
I mean, after this years of COVID and they've been working really hard, staying connected with the students and trying to, but these kids have lives. They've got to move on with their lives.
Well,
and they aren't perpetually 20 and they can't,
I think they're either on their way back from Santa Fe or have been in Santa Fe. Good for them. They're living large
but
and
what
they're
I'm saying,
doing
it's just
things.
so glad that they're back doing what they're supposed to do.
But ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy and the Historical Society, we have a little bit of a problem. It's a great problem to have. New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy did way too good. Let me be clear.
Awesome.
For the first time ever, I want to announce high five and God bless the New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy. They have around 50 cadets.
Okay.
I can't give you the number.
But ballpark.
They are 100% for applying for the Historical Society Scholarship.
Oh, great.
Meaning every single cadet took the initiative to make a video, write an essay.
I wish we could award every one of them.
You're darn right.
We can't, but I wish we could.
It's the time of giving. So I would love somebody listening to celebrate their commitment and dedication. My husband's high school counselor at Roswell High School. Shout out to Roswell High School. Shout out to all educators. God bless you for what you do, and y'all deserve a high five.
I'm married to one. I know exactly just like you are.
But what I want to say is, if you're listening, it's a time of giving, and you have means. Call the Historical Society, and what if we did this? We gave them a little token, maybe a $10 gift card. I don't know.
Sure.
For their commitment to all apply. I don't believe in awarding everybody just because they did it.
Sure.
But come on, what do you know in education where we're 100%?
Sure.
That's pretty darn good.
Well, effort goes a long way.
Heck
and,
yeah.
and
So
if you're
if we
working
could-
and busting, then we should reward that.
I would love a Secret Santa to call right now and say, you know what, Amy, I'm all in to honor those kids for their commitment, dedication. We have another problem. We've got amazing applicants with a wonderful amount of 2,500, but in the scheme of things, that's not near as much as we would like. If you would like to support the Mexico Youth Challenge Academy with a time gift of a scholarship or a small token of appreciation for these kids' commitment to applying, call now 622-8333 or even text my cell phone 575-915-4471.
And this is
really like
if you want to support them and you don't even want us to be the conduit or middle person there, fine. Call them direct. But yes, help them out. But when it comes to scholarships, there's a lot of transparent things you have to do that if you're just an individual, it's a little overwhelming. So
it is.
We've got some experience in that department, with the Hayes family, and they've trusted us to be the stewards
FM
for that for
Nelson
years,
has helped with these.
and others as well. So we kind of got the formula here. So if you're like, hey, I'd love to help you challenge, and let us save you the headache of doing all the others. And you just cut us that check, and we'll make sure
we take this seriously.
Yeah.
We've got spreadsheets out. We have had the honor to read all 50 essays. We've watched 50 videos. We're invested in all these kids.
Absolutely.
Transportation hinders these kids' success when they get out. If I could be the Oprah Winfrey giving all these kids a bike, man, goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, I hope kids realize how blessed they are, and these kids that have means, and they don't think of that as a disadvantage, but they have a disadvantage when it's called transportation.
You don't realize,
job,
sometimes you don't realize what you got till you don't have it anymore. And that's
so shout out to Tina Cisneros and every dadgum person, April Kirkham, and all of you all at Mexico Youth Challenge Academy. I'm not going to say they're doing too good, but they're doing so good that we've got, when you say we're doing things behind the scenes, we're hours and hours reading these things. But it is holiday time at the Historical Society. If you haven't driven by, we're 90% lit up. Huge shout out to Xcel Energy and Jess McDaniels for making that possible. We want to be a beacon of light on behalf of the Historical Society.
He literally is. He's just lighting up everything.
It really is. and it hits at you straight and light us up.
Literally and figuratively. He literally is lighting it up and figuratively.
And these individuals, Xcel Energy, Mike McClough, Jess McDaniels, huge shout out to Eddie for doing talking about behind the scenes. Eddie's doing the work. Thank you. And we don't just drive by the Historical Society. Realize and it's not in the grand scheme of things, we don't all just want to be the prettiest tree. It's really powerful for us to remind everybody to be a beacon of light through the holidays. Don't just get tied up in all the prettiest house award and stuff. Let's be a beacon of light.
I would look at it as a reminder to remind us what this season's about. You look at the lights, and granted, you had a day. And the stress is going, and 20 people, and you're ready to wring people's necks, or you're like, I just want to take the Calgon bath and shut the world. But then you kind of drive around at night, and you get to see the light. I'll tell you, as soon as you're done at the Historical Society, get your butt downtown and drive down Main Street with the lights and the Christmas tree and everything. And that does.
It does.
Gives you, it's your own mental health. It really is some mental health.
So, in honor of Mary Lou Glass, we've got the candles in the windows to be a beacon of light. We are still collecting children's books. We're in the hundreds now. I think we've almost peaked 200.
Good.
High five to everybody making that possible. We are collecting new and slightly used kids' books, children's books.
Yeah.
There will be a sticker inside
so
saying
if your kids
this is
outgrew
honored.
the books, they're still perfectly good books. I get it. Some kids are a little more destructive than others. But yeah, if you have some books that your kids have outgrown, donate them back, and we'll find a new home for them.
And if you're saying, well, why are you donating books? Well, first of all, Mary Lou Glass was an educator. That's unique. Yeah. And so we thought it would be a great idea during the holiday, connected with some after-school programs, some organizations to, and you better get that hat out, Mr. Now that I'm thinking about it, because Santa Claus might be going to some locations before Christmas, giving out candy canes and books, and how wonderful will that be? So call the museum at 6228, and we'll pick them up. 28333, Amazing Robin, Angel will pick them up.
And to every person that says, why are you giving books? I would say, because you're giving people a chance to do their own thing.
Sure.
That's what reading does. Reading is the gateway to whatever you want to do. you're giving a kid a ticket to the world by giving them a
For
book.
sure.
That's why we're doing
Well,
it. If
and
you got to ask, you better learn.
Historical Society, I love to take trips down memory lane or things the good old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Turn the TV off, turn the video games off, and let's read a book.
Absolutely. This is, I'm telling you right now, my love of reading is definitely impacted on why I am and what I do.
For sure.
People always say things to me like, how do you know this stuff? I read books. That's why.
And I've been kind of offended. I can't tell you, Mike, how many times I've been asking, Amy, why are you collecting books? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, to me, I'm just
that's a bad thing. What?
Yeah, no, books are the key to everything, man. The books
They
are. That's what opens the world to these
books,
kids and everything else.
Aren't we kind of in the book business?
Yeah.
I mean, it's history.
Yeah.
The history is documented well through books and
Yes.
articles. And so a couple of quick things before I forget. The museum is beautifully decorated, taking a trip down memory lane, and our childlike Christmas. And it's precious and amazing. And people say, Amy, why aren't y'all doing a Christmas event? We're doing a Christmas event every day, ladies and gentlemen.
Every day's
We're doing
Christmas.
private tours.
Yeah.
Dear friend of mine, Tracy Flowers, called and said, hey, we're bringing the family. And so they're going to have their own little thing. They're going to eat. They're going to have their little family day. They're going to dress up. They've already booked an appointment for New Year's Eve, I think. Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
awesome.
we're doing tours on New Year's Eve. They're going to take their family photo.
Yeah.
And they're going to enjoy a tour.
Yeah.
So we are literally open, if you will, every day
We're
until
making
Christmas.
personal Christmases.
You're
kinda.
darn right. And
Yeah.
some great Christmas photos have come out of
Yeah.
it. I've already gotten some. I need to share them on Facebook. Taking great family photos. So if you wanted a whole family tour in the evening, we can make those things happen
I'm
in the
telling
morning.
you that
We're all in. It's
The
working.
best time is right when it's getting, it's not when it's full dark yet.
That's right.
Because you can
our
still
lights
kind of
are
see
good.
people. You can take a picture of
Yes.
people and stuff, but the lights are in full display.
We booked a tour for around 5-ish, and I'm telling you, you could have the best of all the worlds
Yeah.
because the lights are on.
It's a very
right?
small sweet spot, but
Yeah.
it is a sweet
and
spot.
they took some great pictures with lights and stuff. So
Yeah.
call the museum,
Yeah.
622-8333. You can text me at 575-915-4471
Maybe we
or
can-
email at History Director. And by the way, we're getting busy, so don't say at the last minute, well, we were talking
Yeah,
about
you
us
can't
and
just
we
roll
need
up
a
in there.
tour.
Yeah, you gotta-
We're going to connect. We've got holidays. We respect our volunteer schedules.
Absolutely. They've got-
so we
they
need
got
to
their
book
own
that in
families and
advance.
lives
If
that
you
they're
want to
doing.
do that
Yeah.
the week of Christmas kind of thing, let's respect schedules,
Yeah.
but get it
Or
going. And I
especially
love that great tradition.
that week after in between the New Year's and Christmas.
Yep,
That
yep.
week where you have family still,
That's
but you're
true.
kind of
Yep.
looking for things to do.
And we have some.
Book
yeah.
it now.
That's
Book it now. Call now. Get those scheduled and say, hey, I'd love that Wednesday between Christmas and New Year's. Can we do something? Or Tuesday or whatever day works for you.
We've got John LeMay. He autographed books. So, for example, if you called and said, Amy, I need a couple of gifts, we can wrap the books. We can even have him autograph it. Then I'll wrap the books.
Absolutely.
We can even deliver. And by the way, I left it in my car. We have beautiful, and you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook, beautiful monogrammed Historical Society charcuterie boards. Cutting boards.
Yeah.
They're only $30. Great gift. I've got them wrapped. We could even deliver.
Yeah, we
You
can-
could literally straight up give me the credit card. We could deliver it. Give a little to your staff. That'd be great gifts.
Yeah. And
they're worth $40 or $50.
And if you want to keep them for yourself, we
Heck
we
yeah,
let
buy
that
one for
too.
yourself and gift one.
That's
Keep
right.
one, buy
That's right.
one.
Buy
You know,
gift and
it's
keep.
not just a cutting board, and it's a great charcuterie board. Huge shout out to CRM. They did a great job.
And that's kind
we
of been
appreciate it.
in the last couple of years, kind of a great popular gift idea.
Yeah.
That's kind of, we as society ebb and flow in what we're into. In the last 2-3 years, charcuterie boards have been
Yeah, at our
kind of the.
volunteer party, we're gonna have some charcuterie. I
Everyone
love
loves
this.
meats and cheeses, and so like I gotta have a
it's
fancy
pretty.
way to serve it. So
Kind
here
of
you
like
go.
the food art kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
You could almost start collections of them now
It's
if
true.
you want to, and have it.
Well, I mean, you can certainly have a plethora table.
So make
like
sure
during
your
the holidays.
historical society one is in
That's
as
right.
part of that
Please
collection.
do.
And,
Great gifts. Again, they're only $30. I think the value is between $40 or $50. They look great.
And don't forget, online, we've got plenty of gift ideas. If you want to shop for any of our local authors' books or our Peter Hurd prints, those are still make wonderful Christmas gifts. And, of course, you were mentioning John LeMay, and, of course, he's got his latest book out. But I know, because Roy's been talking to me a lot about it, there's a new Godzilla movie in theaters that everyone's loving right now. Well, if you love into that, John has quite a few books on the Godzilla genre.
does.
When he's not talking about history, he's doing that too, which we can put you. I don't think those books are directly on our website, but we can get you in touch with John to get those.
Well, in Amazon, I had not gone on Amazon. I used that as an example.
And he does have his Amazon page.
Him and Donna were sharing every time they get together, they share a new project because they're doing them every other day. John's got these amazing small little magazines of fun history. I think they're only like $5 or $6.
Like the little dime novels from the back in the day kind of thing. Yeah.
And I hadn't seen those. They do so many projects. I can't keep up with them. I don't even think they can keep up with each other.
Well, that's just it.
So
They're
high
busy.
five with them.
Yeah,
They've got great projects.
But we have a lot of their works available right at our website. And
support local and go to our website first.
And like you mentioned earlier, if you want to get autographs on those, we can make those arrangements happen too. Even with Donna, might have to do a little.
We've maneuvered, and
she's
she
down
loves
in
to personalize those gifts, and we can make that happen.
But give us time on her, because it might take a little longer because she does live in Carlsbad.
She'll do anything to work with us, but you're right.
I know where John lives. I can go knock on his door and say, hey, sign this book if I need to. He's literally walking distance from my house.
And don't assume or presume we'd even have to knock on his door. He's down there at the museum a lot.
Pretty busy.
And he'll arrange his schedule. I know they were doing research last night. So I didn't.
But I know where he lives. I can track him down if need
be. Anything's possible at the last minute. We just want you. It's that membership time. If you're members, it's renewing. Please support.
Yeah, 'tis the season for that.
And you give a membership. But anyway, possible.
Got to remind our board members.
Yes,
because that's the year we do it here is December.
And just a fun to look forward to. We are partnering with an amazing with EDC. And we will have some beautiful signs up. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll have a great event coming up. Mike, it's official. We have ordered. We've ordered. We've placed the order. These things are going to happen. So we're going to have an unveiling pretty soon. We just want to shout out to locals supporting all we do. And we're really excited about the new year. It's been a rough year. We've worked our tails off, and you've said this, and I'll say it again. I think we're one of the hardest working boards around. If we're not, I would love to know who else is doing what we're doing, and we can all work together. But we work hard, and I'm proud to say we work hard because youth matters, history matters.
Well,
we're impacting lives.
And we're at that time of year too, where if you're looking to serve, we're always and usually at the end of the year is that time of year that we add or subtract. Some people come off the board and some people come on.
That's right.
If you're interested in serving, reach out to us because every year we talk and we always think of some names, but and some people aren't. But if you're listening, saying I would love to be more involved with the Historical Society, I would love to serve on the board or serve as a docent or whatever, or even hey, I do gardening. Can I come once a quarter to do some gardening? Yeah, we can help you. Absolutely. Whatever your passion is, we would love to be that conduit for that. And, but if you're looking to serve in a way in our community, yes, we're busy. Like Amy said, we're always, we meet monthly. We have, events quarterly. I mean, usually we're constantly, if we're not raising funds for that building, we're doing it for education events or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're doing school tours. And all these things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We do only have one employee, myself.
Yeah.
So if you can help, you're right. Make a commitment to just give a little bit of your time. I'm a huge advocate to say, Amy, all I have is an hour a month. Hey, that hour a month is huge.
Yeah.
And if we had a couple of people to do that, we can 100% schedule those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And we need help.
Or if you're an organizer or our archives staff.
Oh, yes.
They're always looking, John and Elaine are gangbusters on that, but they can always use more help. Categorizing, cataloging, storing.
The Richards, the Bass, the Stacy's. We love, not something, it's kind of like Grace Community Church, and Rick Hall always says, we want you to find your passion. We love people to find their passion and stay in their lane of whether they're the organizer, the talker. If you're the talker, heck yeah, let's start doing tours, right?
Absolutely. But if you love organizing but you hate people, put you in the basement.
Or in the attic, literally.
Or the attic.
Or either way, or both.
And we'll have you working in the archives facility doing it.
Or if you're an outdoorsman and would say, Amy, I don't want to. Hey, we've got projects outside.
But here's the thing. There's perks to all that because, if you've never been in the archives facility, it's kind of cool. I'm just saying.
If you think you know everything or you know all there is about history, we never know what we know. And you're right. That's the best way to have access. Yeah. My son made a commitment for a month and he came in. No greater way than to work in that stuff
if you're one of
those
people that love to hunt for treasures at yard sales and stuff.
Oh, that's true.
Then archives facility will be a place you enjoy because now you can't buy it and take it with you, obviously, but there's so many finds and things that people have donated over the years, and you're like, oh, what's the story behind this book or this photo? And you're like, oh yeah, it's because of this, and you're like, wow, that's really cool, and it's there to preserve its history, but. Unless someone accesses it or wants it for something, it kind of just sits there till someone wants it. So
yes, it's true.
You really, we're preserving this stuff, but you're really getting a chance to see our own history in a place where a lot of people don't have access to.
It's true.
So there is perks for volunteering and doing it. If you love the history and you love that kind of stuff, and I ain't gonna be lying, they might let you sit down and read a book or two if you got time and you're volunteering.
For sure.
You're like, hey, can I just hang out here and read
so
a book?
funny, Mike? We have so many bookmarks and books.
Yeah.
And our cleaning lady's sweet and all think that. I'm like, no. We have all of our little volunteers.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things. I've got Miss Melanie, if you're listening. I love Melanie Deason because she's got her little bookmark and she's been reading the George W. Littlefield book. And it is a huge book, small print, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big book.
It's a
and
task.
she's been working on that. And a lot of times she'll just say, Amy, can I stay here an extra hour? Heck yeah.
Sure.
I can't tell you how many times she's been reading the book. Somebody rings the doorbell. It's all win-win. And
Well,
it's all
that's what
good.
it's there for.
It
I mean,
is.
obviously, we want to preserve it, and books and papers have a finite shelf life, and so we've got to treat them with kid gloves.
sure.
But at the same time, that's why they're here.
That's
it's
right.
for us to read, to study, to
Yes.
understand the history, even the ridiculous. When, because quite frankly, they were telling us how to do things back in the day in books that you look today and like, what were they thinking? But for the preservation of
It's
that,
true.
that's the cool part.
That's right.
I remember seeing an old book on how to be a radio DJ. And if you did half the stuff that you do in that book today, you would not be a radio DJ. You might be in jail. But
right.
You know what I mean?
How
It's
far
just-
we've come,
yeah.
and that's part of the history. Before I forget, we are still collecting loose change through the end of the year. If you have loose change, if you cleaned out your car, cleaned out your doors, I don't care, give us a call. We'll pick up loose change. And just one last thing, I probably won't be on the radio again this year, and people are saying, thank God. I'm on the radio a lot. But guys,
Now I'm gonna put you on just
we
because.
can't say thank you enough to all the givers that have made possible. We've had sprinkler systems fixed. We've impacted a huge amount of lives. We've served fourth graders.
Absolutely.
We have done, sometimes at the end of the year, we work so hard. We don't reflect on what we've done. Honoring, we've lost so many people.
We have.
And a huge shout out to the Xcel Energies and the dairy producers of the world and the Roswell Seeds and the Roswell Livestocks that have just, Bank of the Southwest, all those people. And I know I've left people out, but it's not about one name. It's about our special Santa that all of our volunteers will be getting something.
Yeah.
That matters to me. And
Absolutely.
we can't say thank you enough.
And a lot of those
the honor
people
and duty.
don't want to be mentioned
No, they
or discussed.
don't. But
they just
dadgummit, that's part of
they
the
literally
process.
hand Amy a thing and say, "Help these people.
Yes.
Don't tell them who
yes.
did it. Don't
yeah.
say anything.
Our
just
secret
do
Santa is a secret Santa,
Yeah,
and our secret Santa just wants to celebrate what we've done and
Yeah.
who allowed us the privilege to make it possible.
I wish we could brag on them
thank you.
because they deserve it, but we want to respect their wishes at the same time.
We need more secret Santas
Yeah.
in the world, just doing what we're doing.
And I'd also thank everyone that supported us this year and everything. Because
For sure.
if you came out to the Guy Penrod concert or the Heritage Dinner or
Yes.
participated in fourth grade school tour
Yes.
or came out to maybe when the CAPS program was doing something in there and you came out and supported that.
The good
or you came
stuff.
out for just any of our meet and greets or when John and Donna are
museum
doing
days.
or historical
Yes,
book fairs.
signings.
All these things that
Yes,
we do
holiday
every year.
magics and all
And to
those
be
things.
honest, like you said, it's been a rough year, and I look back and I'm like, to be honest, like you said, it's actually been a great year.
It's
when
been
you
a
look.
great year.
I mean, yes, it's been busy, and we ran around with
Yes.
but when you look back and see all the things we did and we're part of, I'm like, man, we had a pretty good year in terms of that. And,
we've done
And then we look
good.
at the end of the year, and guess what? The museum's still here. we're
Right.
granted, yeah, we got problems, we got some finances and things, but we're doing all right. All said and done, we made it through this, and we had a great year, and it's all because of people like you coming out to Guy Penrod, coming to have dinner with us to honor Mary Lou Glass, coming out to a fourth grade tour, coming out and supporting the CAPS program when they're doing
Or
their
just
their
called and said,
histories.
what do you need help with and help.
Or coming and saying, hey, our family would like a tour, or hey, I want to get Donna's or John's latest
collecting
book.
coins.
Yeah, or man, can I get some Peter Hurd prints for
Yeah.
our event or whatever it is, or I'd like to donate this gift basket as a silent auction item for your
Yes,
thing.
or books, donated books,
Yeah.
and the book fair and different things.
Every
You're
single
right.
one of those individuals that have done that kind of stuff, that's bought a ticket for us for anything, donated something to do something, participated in one of our events, whatever it is, we thank you and we salute
do.
you. And God bless each and every one
And
of you because
support local.
We wouldn't have
I self-checked myself last night, Mike. I was Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Did a lot, as we're all doing, and I do get my Amazon bags like probably daily. But dadgummit, every time you do that, try to impact alive and support local too.
Sure.
I know we can't get everything.
and here's a
dadgummit,
I don't
do
think
that.
we do it, but if you do the Amazon, which I get it. It's the holiday
Yes.
season. There is an Amazon Smile tab, and there are several local charities that if you shop Amazon, that a portion of your sale goes directly to them. I know Walker Aviation Museum is one off the top of my head. I know there's more. Historical Society has it as well, too.
Yes.
So find the Smile page. Sure, I'd love to have you a historical society.
But
whatever
we're
was
huge
your
advocates.
passion is, whatever.
We
if it's,
couldn't do these things without the support of other nonprofits
So
too. They're
whatever
all,
your passion
for sure.
lies,
support
it that way, and that way you maybe don't feel so bad about spending shopping
You're
online
exactly
first,
right.
because that does come back and help. And, and if you get enough people do it, they get nice little checks at the end of the month.
That's
you know,
right.
If one person does it, it's just a couple pennies. But when you got several dozen, next thing you know, they get $100 check every month.
It's true
because of that. So
you're exactly right.
So
That's
please.
right.
And all of that. And to be honest, some of these nonprofits, that's the difference between doors open and doors not open.
That's true.
So please help out with that kind of stuff. Whatever. Honestly, we at the Historical Society would love to have you come support us, but get involved in the community, pick your passion, and I'm A-okay with it.
Yeah, it's not about us. It's about we.
Absolutely.
And we represent
And we all support each
Southeast New
other,
Mexico, and we love each other, and we're willing to help everyone. And say a prayer for our future and the rah-rah projects and these great things that can impact us on a larger scale.
Yeah.
It's never about us. We support everybody in general. We're a big family.
Well, this is what makes our community great. You can
That
say
is right.
we talk about Roswell, and sure, we got problems. You talk about the crime or this, and we can have that all day. But every single time when you talk those kind of things, you followed up with, but when something happens here, the team, the community rallies.
That's
and
right.
it supports people in need and helping out. And you're absolutely right. And that's why I love this community and say, yeah, we got some bad, but so does every other community.
It's true.
But the things
Anywhere
that
you
you
go.
see here, and this is where my experience is better than your locals here on this. I came from D.C., grew up in Maryland. I'm telling you, the community that we have here and how people are is unique. This is not something you see in every community. Go back east, and there's not a lot of what we're seeing here going on there. It's very corporate, very big, very,
true.
You got to get 17 lawyers involved to have anything going on.
Right.
It's really, where here, it's like, someone needs help, let's just go do that.
That's right.
And that's what I love about this community.
That's right.
And I hope to God it never loses that. Whatever happens on the other stuff, I hope to God that part, because and at the end of the day, this is why Roswell in this community is so amazing, is because when people need help, when people are down, there are always people that are ready to,
true.
There is a reason why we're getting more homeless. It's because we're kind-hearted people at the end of the day,
No, that's
as a
true.
whole.
That's true. On a final, I'm going to steal the quote from Larry. Historical. First of all, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. It's all about the kids. So if you look at the Historical Society and see the lights, we're going to say it's all about the kids. Let's impact lives together, because that is our future. That's our history.
Absolutely.
Future. So,
Well, those kids that are in school now and participating in sports and in FFA and all these extracurricular activities, they're your mayors, they're your business owners, they're your city councilors, they're your directors of the Historical Society.
Right. That's true. And if you're wondering why you see everywhere doing all these different things, well, ironically, it's connecting with the kids, and then they realize their impact in history, whether it's through team leadership and all these things. That is what it's all about. And once they see that and realize that,
Absolutely.
that's so
and so we thank everyone that gets involved in all that.
Thank you. Huge Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. May you be a beacon of light to others. Just thank you to our community.
And happy to bail you out a Christmas gift for a loved one, and you're pulling out your hair, figuring out what to do.
Just kind of like just like the tours, give us 24 hours notice,
That's
please.
right.
But we can work with it.
We can get you come hit. And
you don't have
and
to.
If you know
but
what?
We would prefer it.
Amy's good at creative. She's like she's like everything that you see when you come and you see beautiful flowers. That's all Amy's head.
Grand gestures. So if you only have $25, we can make it look like.
But if you need ideas,
pick
Amy's brain.
Oh,
Amy's
for
got a
sure.
good brain for this.
Yeah,
and
we
she
can have fun with it. Throw the book in, but get some sweet
She
baby Jay's cupcakes.
create
with a
an
book.
experience
So
for
sit there, eat a cupcake, drink some coffee from Stiller, and drink a book.
Yeah.
That's a great gift.
That's
right?
where Amy's jam is at making that extra
we'll
level
make it
of that.
creative for
yeah,
sure.
So, but please reach out. RoswellNMhistory.org is our website. You can email
History director
at outlook.com. or call, which I'm going to need.
622-8333, or just text me at 575-915-4471. And I've had 2 calls and 2 texts, so hopefully we're doing something great together. But 575-915-4471 is my cell.
Yeah, come on. Come
Thank you very much.
Come celebrate the holidays with us at the Historical Society. Thank you to everyone that called 2023
and
a good year
huge shout out
for us.
to 106.5 Gene Dow, Mike, Sean, all of you guys. We really appreciate all that you do for youth, for our community, and for us. We really appreciate it.
We have the easy part, really.
You do easy things, but you're really impacting. I've lived here all my life, and there has not always been a 106.5 around doing what you're doing, and we appreciate that.
Well, thank you. We got we just flap our gums, and people are like, he's amazing. I just do this till someone says, shut up.
I've raised my grandson well. He knows sports. Just log on, and you guys pretty much have it going on.
Yeah.
And he was watching last night, so see, there you go.
Yeah, we had some basketball going last night as Roswell Goddard, our teacher.
So if you don't have much going on, or there's not much on the television, log on. There's got to be from now for a while. There's going to be games.
We're going to be in holiday tournament mode here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, so you'll be.
Popcorn's right around the corner. There's all kinds of other holiday tournaments.
You don't
and
have, so log on. You guys have a lot going on. Thank you
season.
for what you do.
Anytime. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
And I'll see you before Christmas, but
That's
Merry
right.
Christmas if I don't talk to you on the radio
thank you very
between
much.
now and then.
Sure.
So. All right, it is 9:56. I need to shut up to play some news and a couple commercials to pay for lunch. We'll be back. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Explains that he's an example of the spirit of Christmas. What do you think? How'd you like a brand new iPhone 15 valued at $799? Well, you can win one. Just go to commando.com/win, commando.com/win. Dell's Cyber Monday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13 engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and get free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals for huge savings today. Dell.com/deals. Ghosting, defined as a friend not responding to a text, or worse, a lover. Or you just read someone's social media post, but you never hit follow. Don't be a ghoster. Wherever you hang out on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, go to my profile and follow me. My posts are the best. You're going to sound smarter. You're going to know the moment a data breach happens. So where you're laying in bed tonight scrolling through your social media, you'll find me everywhere at Kim Commando. Remember, it's not Kim Kardashian. It's me, the other, smaller Kim. That's Kim Commando.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure will be crossing our area today. Not much effect on things except for gusty wind up to 30 miles an hour. We'll be in the low 70s on the afternoon high, and we should have sunshine. Upper 30s to low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then very gusty wind possible on Friday, going up to the low and mid 70s, but it should stay sunny. Cooler for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Well, you know it's basketball season when you got tournaments all over the place, and we've got a lot of them that are starting today. The Goddard girls, for instance, will be at the Artesia City of Champions tournament against Alamogordo. Our Goddard is 1-1, defeated Gadsden last week in their most recent outing. They'll be taking on Alamo this morning at 11:30. You've also got the Roswell boys playing in a tournament game against Miyamura this afternoon at 3:30, and that's not all. Hagerman playing against Quemado at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and NMMI taking on Hot Springs at 12:30. Not a tournament, maybe? No, maybe it is. Gateway Christian playing, this is also boys basketball. The Warriors will be playing against Tohashali at 4 o'clock. Gateway Christian is 1-1. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Citigroup reports the bank's largest reorganization in decades will cost about $1 billion for charges related to restructuring and severance. The overhaul is expected to be fully completed by the end of the first quarter next year. The changes include slimming down management and possibly laying off thousands of employees. A former executive at Twitter, now called X, has filed a lawsuit claiming he was fired after Elon Musk acquired the company for objecting to budget cuts that would prevent the company from complying with a U.S. government settlement over its security practices. Alan Rosa, who was Twitter's global head of information security, filed the lawsuit in New Jersey federal court. Campbell's Soup surpassed Wall Street expectations for quarterly profit on Wednesday as higher prices for its snacks and packaged food meals helped counter a slowdown in demand from budget-conscious consumers. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Happiness isn't about getting what you want all the time. It's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smitherman for The Joy of Marriage.
As people, we can get so focused on what we don't have, we don't appreciate what we do have. We can make ourselves miserable, angry, and even depressed by focusing our thoughts and words on the negative. Take a look around and find something to be grateful for that your spouse does. It will change your attitude in your marriage.
1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "No matter what happens, always be thankful, for this is God's will for you who belong to Christ Jesus."
Take it from me, I was such a negative person, but by renewing my mind with God's Word and learning to be thankful, it changed my life and greatly impacted my marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. We're closing in on 7:58. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We're going to replay an interview we had with the folks from the Walker Aviation Museum earlier this week. Robert and Doug joined us, gave us an update there. So we'll play that for you here in just a few. Hey, don't forget this Saturday, the Salvation Army is having their monthly pancake breakfast buffet fundraiser. They do this every second Saturday of the month. And, of course, this Saturday, December 9th, is the second Saturday of December. So they would love to invite the public to come out for a pancake breakfast buffet fundraiser, omelet bar as well. It's from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. this Saturday. And then, like I said, they do it the second Saturday of every month. And it's at the Salvation Army facility at 612 West College Boulevard. The best part, it's very affordable. A pancake breakfast buffet, adults $7, children 5 to 12 $4, and children 5 and under are free. All the proceeds from the breakfast goes to feeding the hungry here in Roswell, all the great work that the Salvation Army does to help people in our community. So if you're looking for a place for a very affordable breakfast that's going to feed the whole family and not beat up the pocketbook while at the same time helping others in our community, then come out for a pancake breakfast buffet this Saturday, again at the Salvation Army, 612 West College here in Roswell. And don't forget that they've got their kettle locations all around town, so you can make donations there, and their Angel Tree locations where you can pick up, purchase a toy or clothing item brand new for a child in our community and drop them off at Walmart, Sam's Club, all the Pioneer Banks, Crossroads Church, First United Methodist Church, or Roswell Nissan or Roswell Toyota. You can drop them off there too. So if you in the season of giving, great ways to help out others in our community. All right, it is 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Bound and determined to bolster America's border security, Senate Republicans are blocking a Democrat bill for billions more in U.S. military aid for Ukraine and Israel.
By a vote of 49 to 51, the Senate failed to give Majority Leader Schumer's bill the two-thirds majority it would have needed to advance. The measure was doomed by a major flare-up this week as senators were being briefed on the crisis in Ukraine, and a heated argument broke out over U.S. border policy. Some Republicans are now demanding that the bill be coupled not only with more funding, but also with meaningful border policy reforms. The disagreement is likely to lead to new versions of an aid bill in coming days. Bob Agnew, Capitol Hill.
It was a fiery fourth debate between the Republican presidential candidates, 4 GOP contenders, Christie and DeSantis, Haley and Ramaswamy, sharing the stage last night in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The number of unemployment applications filed ticked a bit higher last week.
While applications increased, the Labor Department reports the overall number of people in the U.S. collecting unemployment benefits fell after hitting its highest level in 2 years last week. Unemployment benefits claims rose by 1,000 to 220,000 for the week ending December 2nd. About 1.86 million were collecting unemployment benefits the week that ended November 25th, 64,000 fewer than the previous week.
And that's correspondent Jeremy House. All V-22 Osprey aircraft being grounded by the U.S. military. This comes a week after all service members on board an Osprey died in a crash off the coast of southern Japan. A preliminary investigation pointing to mechanical failure, not human error, as the cause. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 1 point, while the NASDAQ is up 91 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
As the Israel-Hamas war rages, eyewitness accounts of the heinous acts committed by Hamas terrorists have surfaced. The Media Line's Felice Friedson.
The media front in the war between Israel and the Iranian proxy Hamas has taken a turn after the terrorist organization's sadistic use of sexual torture became known. Atrocities carried out by Hamas during the October 7th invasion of Israeli border communities near Gaza was the initial attention getter. People learned of the deaths of more than 1,200 Jews and others. That soon gave way to a global focus on humanitarian aid for the Palestinians. But when torture and the weaponization of deviant sexual torture became known, interest around the globe peaked in the horror of the disclosures. Reported were starvation, beatings, rape, burning identifications into children's arms with hot exhaust pipes. I'm Felice Friedson, Town Hall News, Jerusalem.
News and analysis at themedialine.org and townhall.com. Mexico City's 2022 ban on bullfighting has been struck down by the Mexican Supreme Court.
That opens the way for events to resume, possibly as soon as this month. A panel of justices voted to overturn a May 2022 injunction that said bullfights violated city residents' rights to a healthy environment free from violence. The panel did not explain their arguments for overturning the ban, but fight organizers claimed it violated their right to continue the nearly 500-year tradition. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Russian lawmakers have set the date of the 2024 presidential election for March 17th. Moving Vladimir Putin closer to a fifth term in office. Putin hasn't yet announced his intention to run, but he is expected to do so in the coming days now that the date has been set. Under constitutional reforms he orchestrated, he's eligible to seek 2 more 6-year terms. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Deuces.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. A little staticky. Yeah, I tweaked it and it was clearer, but it may have got tweaked into the...
All right. I was like, what's wrong with us?
Well, it's hard to do it by yourself.
Uh-huh.
You kind of need 2 people.
Right.
So I didn't happen.
That's why I don't like. That's why I really hate messing with that radio. First of all, it's from 1947, and it's like the only working actual radio in an actual radio station. Which, as I brought up yesterday, something ain't right about that.
Yeah, I think there's a couple portable jobbers.
I looked. I couldn't find one.
There used to be a green one laying around here.
Might be one in the equipment room. I didn't look in there.
There used to be a green one laying around here that I used to use in a pinch.
When you're trying to check things in real time.
Well, and also the other problem is we kind of do. We live in a building that is like all concrete and blocks all radio signals. Like just to get to that 1970s radio, we have an antenna shooting up the roof, up the elevator shaft, and onto the roof just so we could pick up the signal.
Right.
That's the only reason why we can pick up on that one and not others. So we're in a building with very, very strong defenses against radio signal building penetration.
We're trapped inside of a concrete case of emotion.
Milk was a bad choice. But yeah, that's part of it too. But happy Thursday, everybody. Never mind our problems. Hope your day is going well.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I was mentioning last hour, but y'all need to get over to the Salvation Army on Saturday to eat pancakes. $7 for a pancake buffet and
omelets and
yeah. I mean, come on, the $7. I challenge you to beat that price in town. You can't even look at a buffet for $7 now.
It's not. I don't feel like I get as much value out of a buffet anymore. Like I go to a buffet when I was younger. I went in with a game plan.
Yeah, now we're older. We can't do all that.
I can't put down as much. I really never feel like I'm getting my money's worth. You know?
But I still love the theory of eating like 7 meats and 1 vegetable.
No, I like the idea of eating all I can. But that's the thing, though. By the end of it, you're justifying. You're like, well, I would have only gotten 1 plate of food if I went to this place, but I got 4 plates of food. Yeah, but you also paid like $17. So go to the Salvation Army, only pay $7, and eat to your heart's content.
There you go.
Pro tip, though, go omelet heavy.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna
easy on the pancakes. They tend to be a bit filling. If you're trying to
I would argue yes in most situations, but we are doing this for a nonprofit.
Mike, I understand that.
Maybe not eat them out of house and home.
I'm just saying, it's still worth one's time to try to get the most bang for one's buck.
You know, I get it. Eat till you're full, but
don't eat them out of house and home. Fine. I'm not saying I want Mr. Creosote Man to go in there and
He's like, you're here 4 hours. You need to shut it down.
All you can eat. They kick you out after like 7 hours. And they use the weirdest excuses. Sir, you're eating the plants. It's
in all fairness, it goes from 7 a.m. until 11. So if you keep eating after 11, they're going to tell you to leave.
That's right.
Yeah. When you get to the lunch hours.
Mitch Hedberg has one of my favorite bits of his is where he talks about how he wants his act to be like a steak or a hamburger, something you want to like by the end of it. You still are enjoying it. He said, I don't want my act to be like pancakes. At the beginning, you really want pancakes. But halfway through, you're like, I don't think I want pancakes anymore. They do. They just tend to be a bit filling.
And I like pancakes. Of all the baked breakfast things, and I'm talking waffles, French toast,
crepes,
pancakes,
crepes,
little thin pancakes,
croissant.
Pancake is probably my favorite of the bunch.
Pancake or crepe, I would agree with you on that.
Well, they're in the same.
They're just really thin pancakes.
Yeah. I love little things. I watched Talladega Nights.
I don't mess up this morning.
Talladega Nights. I watched over the weekend when it was on. And yeah, I remember the pancake scene. I think that's when I tuned in. Was it the pancake scene? Was when he's in the bar.
Well, then you're just gonna have to break it.
We got that song on there for profiling.
What was it? We also got. Oh, what's the scene? We also got Tiptoe Through the Tulips and something else.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, pancakes are. But that being said, I prefer eggs, bacon, or egg sausage or hash browns. That's kind of my favorite breakfast. I like pancakes. I'll eat them, but I generally don't ask for them.
Right.
If that makes sense. But if someone's ever having pancakes, like, delightful. I love pancakes.
Heck yeah.
But I don't go out and ask for pancakes. Now, I'll get, like, if you go to Denny's or something, I'll get that lumberjack slam with all the eggs, bacon, ham, and pancakes. I'm like, yeah. Oh, and an English. Don't forget my English muffin. I need more carbs, please.
That's right. What's ridiculous to me is when you get into the world of children's breakfast or children's pancakes, because, I mean, good Lord. Like, if you go to, like, a Denny's or an IHOP, they one of the offerings...
dessert.
It's worse than dessert. One of the offerings for the kids menu, and my son loves it, is the cupcake pancake. It's a pancake that is frosted with whipped cream and sprinkles on top. I'm like, it's already cake for breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already eating cake.
Yeah.
Now we're just throwing all rules out the window.
And you're like, I get it. The kid wants it. I want to make everybody happy, but can I slip an egg or something in here for this kid?
I'll make sure he gets his bacon for sure. He's definitely getting his protein. Plus, Dad's going to sneak a bite or two of that pancake because it is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I'm about to say, yeah, it's good, but
it's real good. But
it's kind of hard when you're trying to tell kids about eating healthy, and it's like, oh, here's this cupcake pancake. Yeah, it's got hot fudge and a cherry and whipped cream. Powdered sugar.
Throw a banana in there. You literally have a dessert item.
It's a sundae.
Right.
Like, where's the ice cream? I mean, that's literally all that's missing here. But yeah, you're right. Well, it's no different than coffee drinks.
That's true.
I don't drink coffee, but I see the people that drink coffee, and I'm like, you realize you're just drinking a shake with coffee in it.
Right.
You're literally drinking a milkshake with coffee.
Coffee ice cream. Exactly. That's literally what Frappuccino translates to.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, well, but, that's the world we live in.
These are the hands we're given.
That's why we all got diabetes and they're weighing 300 pounds. Because we're eating cupcake pancakes for breakfast.
But skip your cupcake pancakes. Go enjoy wholesome pancakes and omelets this Saturday at the Salvation Army.
Exactly. For $7. And all goes back to helping the Salvation Army.
That's right.
It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, I don't think they're going to have your crepes and fancy, just pancakes.
No, not so much.
Maybe they can give you a shaped one if they're good at making. Like, hey, can I get a Mickey Mouse pancake? Maybe they can get that going on, like the Kiwanis. You know how they have the. Actually, there's one man that's in charge of making the shaped pancakes. And so maybe they can score one of those. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, there's a guy that I follow on YouTube, and his whole deal is he just makes cartoon character pancakes or character.
I've seen some of those.
It's actually he's really good because you have to design it in reverse. Like you have to put the front layer down first before you lay the base down.
Yeah, because
then you flip it.
I remember, and this was back when Breaking Bad was still on AMC, like on the regular,
right?
Not reruns, but still a show that people tuned in every week to watch. They had a commercial on AMC that was like showcasing some of the tentpole shows of AMC, and at the time, Breaking Bad, I think Walking Dead was in there.
Right.
Might have been one or two others.
On Wheels.
Yeah, one of those other shows that probably aren't on in the Sons of Anarchy or something. I don't know. But actually, that was FX, but you know what I mean.
Just a lineup of their programming.
And so the commercial really was just a frying pan, and it could have been that guy or someone just like him. It was literally, he would make a thing of Walter White as a pancake.
Nice.
And then he'd go and made one of one of the zombies or something, And it was like a 30-second deal, but he's like real quick. Next thing you know, here's a Walter White pancake.
That is a skill. I mean, because you not only do you have to do it in reverse, but you also you are cooking the pancake at the same time. I know he keeps the griddle on relatively low, so he has more time.
Has time to
right. But if you burn, like the eyeballs of that Homer Simpson pancake you're trying to lay down, it's not going to look right. So
I saw someone paint a tortilla once.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was when they were filming Roswell FM in our radio station. And there was a scene in the movie that never made it to the actual movie. Like, it's not in there now. But there was a whole bit where they're in the break room having a lunch or whatever.
Right.
And one of them pulls out a tortilla with the face of the Pope on it. I think I have the picture of the Pope tortilla somewhere on my phone.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there was a whole bit. So I remember watching the arts department and they're, painting up this tortilla to look like Pope. It was Pope John Paul, if you want to be specific.
The second.
Yeah, not one.
That's funny. Look, I think I have that pic in my phone buried somewhere.
I've talked about it before. I follow this guy on TikTok called Scott Prop and Roll. His name of his channel. He's a props master, and they were just talking about the other day, like how they make gravel for like scenes where you have to like have actors fall on gravel. It's just foam rubber that they've painted.
Nice.
Like I never would have thought of that, but yeah, they paint foam rubber to look perfectly like gravel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they got all kinds.
They probably
of
sprinkle some gravel on there too.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they literally made the
Some
imaging
rubble.
of the station out of styrofoam and orange colors and
Right.
things. It was really kind of fun to watch some of that. And matter of fact, I think if you go in our building today, they left a couple pieces of the set sort of kind of KLEN. I think there's a couple KLEN things laying around if you look. That was the call letters of the station.
I would reckon in that there's a space in the Artesia radio station that I can only refer to as the void.
Yeah.
Because there's like action happening everywhere else, but there's this one spot right in the middle where just like stuff is stored.
Yes.
I feel like that's where all the KLEN stuff is.
That's where the museum was for the movie. The that spot in the building.
Oh, was it?
That was the because the general manager of the radio station liked to collect oddities and alien, things like shrunken heads and whatnot. And he had the museum in the radio station, and right in that middle, the void of which you speak, that's where all these like shrunken heads were under glass bubbles and little baby aliens and everything stuck in glass bubbles. I have pics of it. I need to go through that.
I have to go find that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
25 more days.
Oh, that's right. Steamboat Willie is about to be
until that guy is in the public domain.
Steamboat Willie is about to go public domain.
Oh.
Because it can only last so long.
Right.
Matter of fact, about 10, 15 years ago, Disney like pushed to have that time moved forward. They called it the Mickey Mouse Clause.
Okay.
And even with all the time they pushed it forward, 25 more days and it's going to be public domain.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
He was supposed to.
I mean, people can't make their own Mickey Mouse, can they?
That means that you can use the characters within that story with fair use.
So if you want to use Steamboat Willie in an ad, you're okay. But any other Mickey Mouse thing, you're still beholden to.
No,
the
I think
copyright.
like Mickey Mouse himself too, like the name and everything.
Oh wow!
Are you sure the design? Because I feel
like they've trademarked that.
Well, I think it's maybe that generation of Mickey because there's been a lot of different iterations.
So I'm pretty sure Mickey's pretty trademarked up, and you can't just put that on things without Disney getting salty.
Yeah, he was supposed to go in the public domain in like the 90s, and then they pushed it to now. So this January 1st is this New Year's when he goes in the public domain.
I'm curious to see what that goes. Is like, is this going to be like 2000 all over again, and we're going to think the world's going to end?
Yes.
Mickey's going, and nothing happens. Yeah.
No, it's going to be a lot closer to 2012.
Okay.
When we all thought the world was going to end and nothing actually happened.
And then the movie lied to us. But anyway.
Well, no, things that you thought were going to be public domain 20 years ago are finally going to be public domain now. Like
people are dying off.
Like.
So that's what
we
happened.
finally have access to things other than Old McDonald.
Why do you think they put the Kennedy? They locked all that stuff away for 75 years, waiting everybody to die off before they pull it back out again. Probably need to get our interview going.
Yeah.
It is a little behind the tooth here. We're going to play our interview with the folks from Walker Aviation Museum. Before we do that, let's get you up to date with the weather and a quick break.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure will be crossing our area today. Not much effect on things except for gusty wind up to 30 miles an hour. We'll be in the low 70s on the afternoon high, and we should have sunshine. Upper 30s to low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then very gusty wind possible on Friday, going up to the low and mid 70s, but it should stay sunny. Cooler for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
You didn't miss it. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree is this weekend in a brand new location. This Saturday and Sunday at the Artesia Center, 801 North 8th Street. Come and do your holiday shopping at 75 awesome booths, plus food trucks and Santa. Bring the kids to meet Santa Claus Saturday 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. and Sunday 12 noon until 3 p.m. Cost to enter? Free. There will also be a silent auction and a donation box to help Misty Grantham, whose husband was killed by a drunk driver. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree, this Saturday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., this Sunday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m., in the brand new location, the Artesia Center, 801 North 8th Street. Free admission, food trucks, 75 booths. It's our Christmas wonderland. To learn more, visit our Facebook page at Yucca Blossom.
Here's Chip Davis, founder of Mannheim Steamroller, with today's Christmas Countdown.
Today, it's the truth about Santa, whose story surprisingly begins with the Greek god Poseidon. The ancient Greeks believed that Poseidon provided everything good, and a good harvest, a good life. It all came from Poseidon. Some 2,000 years later, in 25 AD, a Christian church was built on the ruins of an old Poseidon temple. It was home to a kind and benevolent bishop who wore bright red and green robes. His name was Nicholas. And like Poseidon, he also gave gifts, but only to good little children each Christmas. Tomorrow, how Nicholas became our modern Santa Claus. And I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller.
Brought to you by Car Shield. With Car Shield, surprise breakdowns won't break the bank. CarShield.com to learn more. Deductible may apply.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, of course, Robert Sherman back with us. Also have Doug Weiser as well. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning. Good morning.
How
are you?
How's life treating you guys?
Very well.
Had a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we had a great one.
Yeah? How many days did you eat turkey after the Thanksgiving? 3, 4?
Well, actually, we went over to a neighbor's house.
Oh.
So we ate once.
So you ate once? Did they make you take leftovers?
I had to take 3 pies, and he made me take some pies home, so I ended up eating pies, which I probably shouldn't be eating. So.
You're a hero for taking those pies. How about you, Doug? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great, actually, and only ate turkey one day.
Good deal.
Because we ate as well. We were blessed, and somebody else cooked us dinner. So
I'm officially I finished eating turkey about a week ago, but yeah, there was a good 6 days, I think, run of a lot of turkey related foods there. So I'm kind of glad to be done with that for now. So, for folks that aren't familiar, of course, the folks from Walker Aviation Museum join us once a month, and if you're not familiar, the Walker Aviation Museum, which is located in the Roswell Air Terminal, the airport, and it is a museum dedicated to really kind of 3 different things. One, it's the Air Force Base that called that part of town home, the Roswell Army Airfield, later Walker Air Force Base. So it really talks about the history of that and shows the history of that, but also the history of kind of this area's role during the Cold War with the missiles, the ICBM missiles. And really the other part is STEM, is really just encouraging the next generation to pursue career fields in STEM-related or aviation-related, which are one and the same here, career fields here. So that's kind of what the museum is all about there. Did I cover it in a nutshell, or is there?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. We got the
We're getting you trained really well.
Yeah, there you go. And if you've never been, I always encourage you to make a trip out to the museum. Generally, the hours run around the flying schedule of the.
Yeah, it's today. Matter of fact, it's the first. I think a change. It's been 12:40. Was it midday takeoff?
Yeah.
Today it's 12:14.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly how long that's going to last, but.
So if you go open up a little bit earlier now.
Jenna just gives us a heads up.
So what time you guys open? Usually about 10:30, 11? Or?
Yeah, about 10:30.
Okay.
11 o'clock.
And then they hang out till about 1 o'clock or so. So you can come on by. And, of course, if you're in the middle there, they're not going to be, gotta go. But it really is. And what I love about the museum, and I think this is where you guys have a lot of fun, is especially during the summer months when people take vacations and things, you get a lot of families that called Walker Aviation Museum, or they had family members that called the museum or the Air Force Base home at some point or another, whether, they had a grandfather or grandmother or daughter or, somebody that served there, or maybe they lived here because their parents served and they were little kids, with their family on the base. So you get those kinds of stories all the time where families come back to visit, where maybe some former or older family members, chewed some dirt here from time to time. So to me, that seems like the coolest part of the job, when you get someone coming in and then they bring like some stuff, memorabilia, clothing or books or something from their time here, and then sometimes they share that stuff with you. And to me, that's the coolest part of your of being a kind of a volunteer at the museum, I'm guessing. I'm going to guess you guys probably dig that a lot too.
That's right. We run into some really nice folks out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of dead as far as don't have very many people, but then sometimes we get a bunch of folks, and it'll be a situation where I'm out there and I'll get through talking to one individual for maybe 10, 15 minutes, and I'm thinking, wow, that was worth the trip out here today, because of his background or her background.
Sure. And you get
like
to, I imagine you guys learn cool factoids on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Just when you get those visits and things like that.
But actually, to be accurate, we're trying to open up, I don't know exactly the hours, but about 2.5 hours prior to the takeoff.
Okay.
So you just back up 2.5 hours from whatever the current takeoff
So
is.
if they're taking off about 12:15, so about 10:15.
Yeah, and they
so.
can go to AA.com and you check on flight status, and then just type in depart Roswell and go to Dallas, DFW.
Yeah.
And it'll show you what the schedules are and kind of what the status is. Are they take off on time? So when I get there, I check on departure of the plane out of Dallas to come here, because it turns around and goes back.
So if it's running behind, then
so if it's running behind,
everything.
it's going to make everything else run behind. And
Sure.
So we have a bunch of folks that come in kind of waiting either to pick up people coming in on the plane from Dallas, or they're getting ready to leave. So they're looking around and
kind of have a
watching
captive
stuff.
audience for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the plane lands, you got all the people coming off, and sometimes you'll get 3 or 4 people coming in that landed, just want to swim in like, hey, every time I've been here, you guys been closed, and that's because they come early in the morning.
Yeah, they come like Saturday morning or something early. But and it always takes them a good 5-10 minutes to get your luggage off the plane and get it over there. So you, instead of just standing there staring at that door waiting for it to open and your luggage to come out, walk on over to the museum and avoid all the headaches of trying to fight for your bags for a few minutes, and they'll be there when you're done.
Yeah, we're about 50, maybe 60 feet from the check-in area where the inspection.
Yeah, if you come in the main entrance of the airport, the middle doors there, it's right there when you walk through. You can't
on the right
you'll
side.
trip right over it when you walk in. So.
Where we used to be is now a bar.
Yes.
And there's a food court there, but
which they have great burritos and stuff. So if you if you're hungry, maybe before or after your trip to the museum there, grab a bite to eat. Pretty good food there. I'm sure you guys spend a lot of time eating there because you're just at the airport waiting around, hanging out for stuff. So, but I also would like to encourage folks to get involved with because of that STEM side that we talk about. You guys do tours and offer for like various youth groups.
Yeah,
and
we had
things
the Catholic school out last Friday.
Oh, cool.
Peggy Boland.
Okay.
She's she's our science whiz.
Yeah, she loves
STEM person.
She's a STEM person.
Yeah.
She loves space and rockets.
Camp
and all
Invention,
that.
space. She's been an astronomy president.
She's
for
a retired teacher, so she's all about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but she's teaching now again. At
Is she
Catholic
back to
school.
teaching?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I say retired. She's teacher now.
But she brought some kids in, and
oh, cool.
It's kind of funny. We were laughing because they brought in, I think it was 8 kids, which is a perfect number because we have 2 flight simulators, and we can put 2 on each flight simulator for about an hour, and then the other 4 we show them like 13 different STEM careers off of YouTube.
Yeah,
and then they change positions, but
and they get to see
just like when they brought the Boy Scouts in about a month ago.
Right.
They brought in 8 kids, and then they also had 8 adults.
Nice.
We were laughing at kind of controlling the adults is more difficult. Than
I'm
the
about
kids.
to say they probably have more. They were probably getting into things more. All right, now stop playing with
watch
that.
it,
Don't touch that. But and that's the thing. The Walker Aviation Museum has a full flight simulator that just like the ones that people train to be pilots on.
It's not a wraparound or movement thing, but it's
but
Lockheed software. It's about $6,000.
And if you, of course, if you're certified and you get on it, and those hours you're training on it do count towards your pilot's license.
And you can fly 50 different airplanes and land at any airport in the world.
Wow.
So you get a pilot that comes in and it's set up for like Cessna 172. They go, oh, okay, fine. I said, well, you can select a fighter aircraft.
Right. You can
and
fly
you can
like
land in
military
Istanbul,
jets.
Turkey at 9 o'clock at night in the rain.
Yeah. See, that's cool.
Really? Okay.
I would imagine a lot of pilots just want to do that, especially if you're like a civilian pilot that flies Cessnas and things like that, and you get a chance to get some seat time behind an F-22. I got to imagine it's got to be, I think I want to try that. It's a little bit different than flying this Cessna. And I'm doing it on a simulator when I don't screw it up and crash this thing.
Your takeoff row is a little shorter.
That's right. But that's what so kids, adults, people that are looking to maybe go towards a career as a pilot, or you just want to get your pilot's license for your own personal, it might behoove you to kind of buddy up with some of the folks at the museum here. And because in essence, you guys, give training on that and check people out kind of like a driver's test or something. And then once you've deemed them good enough to do their thing, and they can literally come, obviously when hours are available, flash their card and get some time in the simulator to get, if you're working towards your pilot's license or something like that, you can actually use this as part of your training to get you towards there. And so that's why I love all this stuff is, we get to learn the history of this place, and you want to come and talk stories and talk about that. That's awesome, and that's what it's there for. But when you have kids and things that are thinking, I want to be a pilot, or I want a career in aviation, or I want to be an engineer, and they come walking in and they start doing these things and learning about that stuff. So so it's kind of a twofold. It celebrates our past and lights the way for the future kind of thing. That's kind of what the museum's
Our
about.
website is really, thanks to Juliana Halverson. She's the
official historian / I think website builder for nonprofits in our town.
Yeah, she really does a lot. Anyway, what we'll get is a couple come in, or a gentleman will come in, and he's headed for, say, Connecticut.
Okay.
I said, you got any kids? Oh, yeah, I got my kids, 12, 14 or whatever. And so I just show them our website where they can go to. And as you open up our website at wafbmuseum.org, you can go up and click on education. And the first thing you get is kind of a description of what we do out there for 3 hours with 8 kids or whatever. And then there's a list of, as you go down through that, it lists some different things that we show them on YouTube.
Okay.
But in that section, you can actually click on it or touch on it with your iPhone, and it'll actually play that video.
Okay.
And then below that, there's a bunch of other YouTubes that we found for, career-wise.
Okay.
And then some aircraft ones.
So you can watch them on your own too if maybe you did
that list, you have to kind of find them and then play them.
Gotcha.
But then if you go down further, you run into 38 professional pilot training videos that are ground school.
Oh, wow.
And that's 12 hours worth of training.
Shoot.
So we show
You're
them
halfway there if you get through that already.
And it lists all those. All you have to do is touch those, and it'll play on your iPhone.
That's impressive.
So then the next thing we did is spent a while with 3 phone books, and we listed 480 STEM-type jobs in the Roswell region that are listed right there. And then as you get down at the bottom, or if you're on a computer, it's at the top, but you find 3 little photos of Bob Donnell and I working with the kids.
Nice.
And right above that is dealing with STEM jobs.
Okay.
And if you touch that, you go to a website used by the local schools here, ONET Online.
Okay.
Yeah, Occupational Network Online.
Okay.
And that lists 331 STEM occupations or careers alphabetically. And you just touch on that on your iPhone or, computer, and it'll come up with all kinds of list of skills you need, job activities that you'll do, on and on and on. And
what a great
it goes
tool
on down,
for
you give
families
a
to kind of
zip
show their
code,
kids.
It'll say where your jobs are and where the education is for those.
When you're sitting down talking with your kids about,
So
their
they get really
futures.
excited about that. We give them a little business card. They can go back and say, just go to that. And you can no matter where
start
you
your path towards that, getting the training lined up, and next thing you know, you're 10, depending on their age, a few years from then, they're in that, doing that career and living the dream. I love that.
One of the reasons we give them is that when we were in high school, back in the dark ages, not really, but you didn't have that type of opportunity.
Nope.
You kind of like getting ready to go out of high school. You say, okay, you going to be a rancher, farmer, doctor, lawyer, nurse, or
I remember them
instead
taking
of
a
all
test.
the list of stuff that's out
I remember taking some kind of test in school, and I don't even remember the questions. But at the end of the day, it like told you what you'd be geared for, and I think I got like farmer or garbage man.
Did it have
something.
radio?
No radio
personality.
No radio. But yeah, and I don't know how accurate those tests were back in the day, but this seems way better and a lot more cooler.
We had some guys that were really friendly from South Africa.
Okay.
And these guys were here to help harvest hay, they said, quote unquote.
Okay.
So I'm getting kind of suspicious. I was talking to Bob Donnell, and we were saying, seriously?
Yeah.
You got guys fly all the way from South Africa up through come
They're
into
experts
the
in hay
Roswell area to help
harvesting.
harvest hay. And they were headed back. One was going to London to go to, and one was going to Dubai or whatever, out of Dallas to head South Africa. Anyway.
For more hay harvesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I said, maybe they're, South Africa's CIA or something.
Yeah, they're up to a little bit more. Although they're, or maybe
no, but they
just,
were real friendly guys, really nice.
Maybe they're really good at harvesting hay, and they're when you need the best. You bring in the A team. But I would invite and encourage folks, and if you're a youth group, like I said, go to the website and check some of this stuff out, and say, hey, this would be perfect for our group. Then talk to the museum, and they can set up times for your group to come in. And like I said, it seems like 8 seems to be the magic perfect number for a group, but we can make it happen with other numbers and things like that.
By the way, we're sitting here. Doug Weiser joined our group fairly recently.
Okay.
I did.
Doug's a new volunteer.
And he is our president-elect. He will be our president next year.
So brand new and said, guess what? You're the president.
No, he volunteered.
I got you. Good for you.
We poked him, and he
I raised my hand. I got poked and I raised my hand.
Well, and you're always looking for more fresh faces to come be a part of the Walker Aviation Museum as a volunteer or to serve on the board. There's so many different roles that you can do. If you want, docents, they're always looking for more docents. I think Ted or Bob or yourself ought to take a day off.
We recently
once in a while.
lost Ted. Ted going to be doing other things with his kid and stuff. So he was out as one of our main volunteers. So I'm going to be working possibly with Allie Bishop. She might be out for a day a week. And,
well, good deal.
But a lot of people
are
busy working during the day, so they can't really make it out here.
But if there's maybe some retirees or some folks that...
So that's why Bob Donnell, myself, and Allie can maybe get out there.
Yeah, and there's no rules saying you have to be former military and that stuff.
No.
If you just have a desire and love the stuff, maybe you're just an airplane fan, and you want to come and be a part of it. But always looking for volunteers and docents to kind of just answer questions, things like that, or like you said, be. When I was talking at the beginning, I'm going to argue the coolest part of volunteering there is that time when the families come up with their stories and things. And guess who gets to hear those? The docent, the volunteer, the one that's there welcoming people. You get to meet these folks that come in and they tell their stories of, what they did when they were here 20, 30, 50 years ago here. So it's
usually
really cool.
When I'm there, I just play the Enola Gay, the kind of history of the Enola Gay and Hiroshima. And it talks about the history of Tibbets, the pilot, how he was going to be a doctor until his dad was selling candy, and this guy came along in a biplane and needed somebody to sit in the back seat and throw out candy. So he did that for a week, 12 years old.
That's amazing. And that's a heck of a way to get into the...
After that was over with, he kind of stopped thinking, I think I'll be a pilot and not he really got hooked on that.
But technically he got lured into being a pilot with candy.
That's right.
Like don't get in the van.
The new candy that they were throwing out was called the Baby Ruth.
Oh, the Baby Ruth.
So,
and at the time, Babe Ruth was a very popular
that was a big
man.
thing.
He was a superstar
big
back
as
then.
Snickers as nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so
But
that's pretty
anyway,
cool.
what you do is you get someone in there and that thing's going. You have people come in and they'll sit in our chairs that we have them watch it rather than just sit out in the food court area. But then sometimes people come in and say, yeah, my dad was a B-36 crew chief or B-36 mechanic or whatever. I go, okay. I jump up. I go over and I pause that one. And we go to one where you have, what's his face? Oh, yeah, Jimmy Stewart and June Allison. He's coming up and gives her a little kiss. And she's sitting in the car. He said, I'll be back. And it's about 7 minutes long that we have on that YouTube. And he gets in a B-36. And it shows inside, and they rev up the engines, they take off, and they fly and come back and land. So I put that on.
Sure.
And they go, wow, okay, this is the B-36.
Gives them an idea what their family member worked on.
Yeah,
Exactly. I love that.
So
that's great.
So real flexible as far as that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Of course, the other part is that history side of things that we talk about here. And, and I know we wanted to talk a little bit about the namesake of the museum, or the Air Force Base, now the museum here in General Walker. Of course, they just don't name installations after people unless they do some pretty special stuff here. And General Walker was definitely one of those, a hero of World War II. And of course, he was a guy that was known for leading from the front, and he actually, we lost him because he was a brigadier general doing something that probably a captain should have been doing. Flying planes and leading missions and things like that.
That's a matter of fact true, because he was told by General Kinney, commander of 5th Air Force, who was told by MacArthur, he was also flying on missions, and General MacArthur told Kinney, do not fly on missions. I need you, to lead.
We need your leadership now. You're not.
So
you're
then,
not
when that happened to
here.
him, he told Walker, now you quit flying, because he was flying about once a week in combat, because he felt like he's supposed to be there. He's the type of guy they talk about.
Well, that's what you're trained to do. That's what you do.
That if you went and he was a general, he would stand in line with everybody else going through the cafeteria line. It's kind of like.
Even though he had a man of privilege, he didn't use it. He was always amongst
I remember
the guys.
the general when I was at Okinawa. We'd have a dining in. The thing was that he said, you serve my food last. So, man, everybody be sitting there and they'd be serving everybody the food, knowing that the last serving had to go to the general in charge. So they were really efficient, as trying to get
That's
the food
a heck of
out.
a way to get your
because
people,
the general
right?
said, I'm not going to be served up first because I'm sitting at the head table, blah, 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 and all that's going to be eating while you guys are waiting for food. He says, I will get my food last person. So, man, things got, from that point on, really sped up. They had more people putting out the food and stuff like that.
Well,
but that's kind of what he did. He was
Sure.
leading from the front.
Well, and that's and in the military, when you have a leader that really is of the troops like that, they garner so much respect, and generally, I'm going to guess that every one of his GIs would go through a brick wall for that. Man,
Oh yeah,
probably.
yeah.
That's just when you get a good leader like that. Just based on my own time in the military, when you find a leader that knows what, because in the military, you get a little everybody, and not everybody's a genius in the military. But when you find one that's in charge of stuff and doing things, people gravitate to that really quick. So General Walker was one of those people that people gravitated to. So.
Last time I was on, I talked about I have 3 books that I've kind of recommended. I just got through reading recently, Countdown 1945 by Chris Wallace. It was a bestseller. It was copyright 2020 on Countdown to Hiroshima, and talks about all that. And then the Enola Gay by Gordon Thomas, that was written in 1977. The last one I just got through reading is really interesting, called the World War II 100. And in that book, it goes through and provides about 2.5 to 3 pages of information and a few smaller photos of 100 of the key people that are involved with World War II.
Okay,
the first one would be Hitler. Hitler was the guy named.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of good guys. I was thinking all over.
These are all the bad guys.
Okay, gotcha.
So, number 1 was Hitler. Number 2 is Franklin Roosevelt. 3 was Winston Churchill. 4 was Joseph Stalin. But then if you get over here in the back, number 91 is Adolf Eichmann. You you come across names that you never heard before, and then it tells you why they were important. You go, wow, that's really neat. I never heard of that guy.
Sure.
So it's kind of a interesting little book.
Because obviously you get the top list of like, I know all them names. But once you start getting down towards the middle and bottom, you're like, huh. And they did some courageous act or something that happened during the war that changed the outcome of it big time. And it could have been something they did in combat or some decision they made.
And every time it mentions it in that 3 pages, if it's one of these people listed, it'll give the number next to it the first time they mention the name.
Okay.
So you're reading that name and go, oh, that's number 67. Oh, I'll go check him out.
Go back and reference it.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a fun book. It's one of the books, though, that at the beginning is, the title on the front page is everything's cool. It says the World War II 100. It's like a book like that. However, on the outside of the book, the War World II. I bet you the people that the author with this, like, seriously?
Yeah. Interesting.
And, I had it in my bookcase for a long time before I realized
that there was a misprint
it says
there.
the War World II 100. But the actual name inside is the World War II 100.
I guess the guy making the spines on the.
So I imagine first time the author saw that book, he says, seriously, you just printed 100,000 of these books? All right. Anyway,
It's like probably the guy that chicken soup for the soul. You wonder if that first time they spelled soup soap, and then you just wonder, chicken soap for the soul. What are you talking about? Kind of same thing here.
That's true.
Or maybe you have a misprint. Maybe you should check out the other copies of that book and see if they're all like that, or you just got one that.
Oh, maybe it's right. Yeah.
That might be worth money now.
They may just run it, and it had about 100 books come out that way.
Yeah. Well, did it have a jacket that came on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they maybe just covered up with the jacket, thinking no one would look, and then here you are ripping the jacket off.
This might be a valuable book. Yes,
very cool. But that's what I love about this stuff is that history and everything that comes with it. So that's why I always want to invite people to come and be a part of the museum. Come check it out. If you've never been for a visit, please come. If you're a group that works with the youth and wants to, there's a great opportunity. I know there's all kinds of church groups, school groups, other civic organizations that have the kids come in there, and I'm telling you, if you get a group of kids in there, you might just find one of them. Next thing you know, that they just found their link to what they want to do the rest of their lives.
One of the things that we do right now is Juliana, when we had our museum day.
Yes.
And she came up. We had a big box of these little flat rubber. Looks like just a piece of flat rubber, and it breaks loose and it comes out to make like a little glider, a little airplane. And they come in like 6 different colors. So if you have a little tiny girl that might be interested, we have a pink one. She can have a pink airplane.
Nice.
So that's one of the things I do. People come in. I said, "You got any?" They probably think I'm being really nosy. But you got any 2, 3-year-old, 4-year, 5-year-olds at home? Oh yeah, I'm going to go see them right now. I say, well, here, there's one boy, one girl. So I say, go pick out the color. Then I show them one put together, and you put a dime in the nose and you throw it. It kind of.
I love those.
It doesn't go taking off.
Right.
But it kind of flies.
Those are my favorite toys as kids. The little parachute guy, the little balsa wood gliders. Those
and
are
it
my
really
favorite toys.
opens them up, and it's just something that's really cheap and easy, but makes them really happy. And next thing you know, they're kind of like, oh, okay. And then they start talking about other stuff. And it kind of opens them up a little bit.
Absolutely, gets them. Yeah, it's a fun way to kind of connect with the kids and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
good deal.
But
what else do we want to cover here? Any other thing we want to make sure?
Some of the people that have donated fairly recently is Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development, Glenn Furniture, 6 Bomb Wing, Reunion Group, and David Petroleum, Doug Murray, and just recently the Xi Kappa chapter of Beta Sigma Phi.
Okay. College.
It's kind of a
fraternity
group of I think ladies that work, but they just sent us a nice check.
Nice.
Significant amount of money, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And, so anyway, we're just always looking for some support so we can keep the doors open. The rent's not too high, but there are about $1,000 worth of expenses every month when you count everything.
Absolutely. And so it is a free museum.
Yeah, and we have people donate. They come in, and I have a big sign now. We just say, please come in, because people stop at the edge of the door. Like, can I come in.
Right. Do I cross the threshold? What am I getting into?
Can I bring my coffee in? I said,
Yeah.
yeah, come on in.
Come on in.
Put your body in. And then I just made it big and said, yes, come on in. Yes, you can take pictures. Da, 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 da. So I kind of like encourage them to
Sure.
come on in.
Welcome. Stop staring from afar. Come on in. And
you're always looking to enlarge your list of donors and benefactors.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, and that's just it. It's all volunteers. It's really a grassroots organization here, and like you said, there's not a admission fee to go to the museum. So really, the only funding you guys get is really through generous donations.
Yeah,
of
we were
people and
doing
things.
golf tournament, but now we're kind of down to smaller numbers. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, so it's kind of
But
the
one
way
of the
you were.
big donators in the past was Roswell Toyota XL Energy. Of course, got us those a grant for those flight simulators, and AirSail was a really
So
good
kind of
one.
looking for some fresh faces to
Yeah, so
support.
anyway.
It's always great.
Support the museum here.
That's
So
right.
if you're a business or organization, and we're very thankful for the groups that have supported in the past, but always looking for some new groups. If you're looking, especially if maybe your business or entity is kind of in that aviation or STEM field, and you want to support, organizations that are trying to bring you the next generation of people. Give the museum a call. Talk to them, and
we have one of our gentlemen help build a few things for us, but we have a Jacob's Ladder. People say, what is Jacob's? They don't know. It's
it was a movie in the
couple
80s.
of lanes that go up, they kind of spread out.
Yeah.
And there's a thing. So I get a young kid and I say, hey, they're walking around with mom and dad trying to take care of them.
Yeah.
I say, hey, come over here. Here, push that switch down. There's Jacob and this lightning thing where the light, 10,000 volts that goes up this thing, and they go, whoa, look at that. So they sit there and hold that thing down and watch it go up and lightning. So it's kind of like.
Kids love buttons.
Gets the kids like excited about stuff like that.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah, absolutely. But then they learn, oh yeah, this is electricity. This is what it. Why does it
so
do
you
this?
definitely
This
wouldn't
it
want to
does
stick
this.
your finger inside this this case.
By the way, the '80s movie Jacob's Ladder, nothing to do with any of that stuff.
That's right.
But,
That's a good point.
You're like, this movie has nothing to do with the Jacob's Ladder. But go to the museum website, wafbmuseum.org, and as Robert was mentioning earlier, talking about the different videos, all that stuff there. But if you're interested in making donations, there's a Donate Now button, or if you're interested in becoming a volunteer, it tells you ways that what they're needing, what they need help with, serving on the board or docents or any of the different ways you can get involved here. So please don't hesitate to go to the museum, do your own little research and read about it, and then come on out for a visit here to the museum. But
a lot of people, when they see General Walker, and even the little video says, he got shot down and killed, and he's actually still missing in action over.
He was never technically recovered.
New Guinea, yeah, and they missed the main point. If you look at his biography, there's a picture of him on the wall. It's actually the last half of the last paragraph, which is why I think he was so well respected. And
right.
That was the War Plans Division was tasked with developing a production requirements for President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who wanted it, very quickly. So they sat down guys by the last names of George, Olds, Fairchild, Walker, Cooter, and Hansel. Fairchild, this gentleman, ended up being, Fairchild Air Force Base was named after him. And then Walker had Walker Air Force. But in a period of about 4 days, they put together a plan for a war against Germany, and they reflecting their belief. They were kind of called the bomber mafia.
Okay.
They believed that that's what was the key, and they talked about all the exact things they would need for a number of bombers and estimated to knock out all of Germany's key industries. So they put together the actual plan that was used by 8th Air Force over in England to, try to
the overall
subdue
strategy.
Germany. Yeah, overall strategy.
Interesting.
And they kind of initially came up that they would need, after all the different groups of bombers and, light bombers and firefight, 1,808 observation squadrons, all kinds of stuff. They figured they'd need 6,834 aircraft. Well, turns out they needed a lot more than that. And when they looked at building all the aircraft they needed and all the squadrons and all the stuff, the plan required 2,164,916 people.
Wow.
I don't know where they come up with that number, but they included 103,482 pilots.
Wow.
Thinking, wow, you just realize how big World War II was.
Yeah, it's insane, those numbers. And
then they also thought that fighters didn't make any difference as far as fighters go. And they found that out was a mistake.
Yeah, they learned that lesson.
Because even the guys flying out of Germany in the 8th Air Force, B-17s, it was kind of like suicide missions.
Yeah, those escort.
And that's why they limited to 25 missions, because otherwise, if you said you're going to fly for 100 missions, you're going to be dead.
Yeah, you ain't going to see 100 missions.
Yeah, no.
You know, you were lucky to see 25
but then
in some cases.
The P-51 Mustang fighter came along to escort them out of England, and boy, that was a big thing. It helped
changed,
them a lot.
That was a game changer as far as them coming in, and you know, that's why you always, if you're a movie fan and all that, and you watch like the Red Tail movies and all that kind of gives you a good idea what we're talking about here as far as the role of the fighter in World War II and how it impacted greatly the success of our bombing missions and things like that. So.
Yeah, so you can always go just like I did. I go to Wikipedia and you can just print out Kenneth Walker General, and it gives a quick, pretty good summary, about 8, 9, 10 pages worth of stuff to read.
Good deal.
So showed what was on his shirt. He had the Medal of Honor. Well, of course, that's after he passed away.
Right.
Distinguished Service Cross, Silver Star, Legion of Merit, Purple Heart, World War I Victory Medal. So this guy kind of been around.
He's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big
they
deal.
don't name bases after people that aren't big deal. They just don't. You know? Yeah.
And he was from northern New Mexico, Los Rios. Kind of like Los Rios restaurant, you know.
I didn't know he was from New Mexico. That part I didn't know.
But fairly soon after he was born, his dad left his mother. And so her mom moved up to Denver. So he kind of grew up in Denver, but he initially was living in northern New Mexico.
He was put on this earth in New Mexico.
That's right.
Good deal. And but again, cool history.
Oh, by the way, we have a new member of our group. He's on the advisory board.
Okay.
Josh Bootson.
Okay. Well, welcome, Josh.
And he works with the New Mexico Department of Workforce Solutions.
Okay.
And he said there's a website called Be Pro, Be Proud.
Okay.
BEPROBE. And it talks about these big semis that come around with simulators in them for driving 18-wheelers.
CDL.
For doing lift stuff. But they're going to be coming to Roswell High School, they said, in January.
Okay. So if people are interested in getting CDLs, things like that, they might want to. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about.
But if you go to that website, it lists all these different things, and it talks about what their salary, what their medium salaries are. And,
what's that website? Does it have?
It would be all written together, beprobeproud.org.
Okay, beprobeproud.org.
And this is what...
Google that. That should come up.
Yeah. And that's what Josh just talked about. He's a really good guy.
I'll have to get him in talking about it.
So is Doug Weiser, by the way.
He's
all right.
Yeah, Josh, he's got a lot going on. He does.
Good deal. So please reach out. When's your next board meeting? Like, how often do you guys have your board meetings?
Every 2 months.
Okay.
We may be next board meeting. We're going to have a brainstorming section, right?
Okay.
Yes, we talked about that. We're all going to sit around and try to come up with some ideas. Maybe
see what sticks to the wall
meet
there.
At the museum.
Nice. Yeah. Very good. Is it in January or when did you have your last meeting?
Yeah.
So probably in January.
Yeah, it'll be in January.
Maybe we'll catch you next month in January. Say, hey, the meeting's coming up. We'll invite you all out.
What's going on?
Good deal. Did we get it all? Is there anything we missed?
I don't know. Is there
anything we missed?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all. Students, it's just a great. If you think about when you got out of high school, but as Robert mentioned, it's sort of difficult trying to figure out what you want to do.
Right.
And if there's a list of careers, fields, and different things like that, I wish I had it.
Sure.
When I got out of high school, hey, you can do all this.
That's exactly why we're doing it.
Yeah. And the world's your oyster. I'm like, well, I have no idea what's in the oyster.
Yeah, what's in the oyster?
Yeah.
You're correct. I mean, that's the thing. And this tells you, hey, that's interesting. I ought to check this out. I ought to check this out. But
yeah. So please reach out. Come. Come individually, come, as a family or come as your group, whatever, but come visit the museum. Like we said, check the American Airlines flight schedule, but it's 2 hours prior to that early flight there. So usually about 10, 10:30, 11, that thing's open.
If you go to the website, you can see find the phone number.
Yes.
And you can call us, and we try to keep that voicemail up to speed.
Gotcha.
On when we're open.
So that way you can
We
call
were
it
open on Saturdays, but we've kind of, because we don't have enough volunteers right now, we're down to Monday through Friday.
We need some more volunteers. So if anyone's interested in volunteering, then we can open back up on Saturday.
Yeah. And I apologize for talking more because Doug's here kind of like, next time.
I'll talk more
I'm
next
going to let
time.
Doug do all the talking.
Right.
Robert's going to sit and listen.
Well,
that's right.
I talk too much anyway, so we need more. We get some of that.
We'll get it done.
That's right.
We'll get it done.
Well, thank you guys. If I don't see you before the holidays, Merry Christmas to you
Merry
guys.
Christmas, happy holiday.
And I guess we'll talk to you in 2024 with bigger and better and more exciting things that are on the horizon here. So,
Absolutely.
good deal.
Indeed.
Okay.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks,
Take
Mike.
care. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Mike.
Greece provided substantial assistance. The two leaders are now due to discuss trade and immigration, areas of mutual interest which may take priority over historic grievances.
The BBC's Paul Moss. Chinese naval vessels have become the first ships to dock at a new pier at a Cambodian naval base that the United States and some international security experts say is destined to serve as a strategic outpost for China's Navy. News and analysis, townhall.com. It was quiet Sunday morning, 82 years ago today, the deadly Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. On Monday, December 8th, President Franklin Roosevelt went before Congress.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
More than 2,400 Americans were killed, at least 1,000 others wounded in the sneak attack. Nearly 24 naval vessels damaged or sunk, and some 200 aircraft were destroyed. As part of Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, American flags fly at half-staff today. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Welcome to it.
Hope your Thursday's going well. Hope life is treating you amazing this morning.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indubitably.
Not do something to fix it.
Right. I found a thing that I never knew I actually wanted, and now I kind of really want one.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to get targeted ads for this now just by saying it. I was watching YouTube Shorts yesterday, and apparently you can buy a edible spoon maker.
A maker that makes spoons that you can eat?
Edible spoons, exactly. So it's a looks like a waffle iron.
Okay.
But it's got 4 little slots, and each of those slots is a spoon. You take, regular like dough, croissant dough, whatever. You put it in there, and you can make edible spoons for like ice cream, things like that. And the way they were making them is like you could like put fillings in them and stuff. Like they were putting like cherries and whipped cream in one. They made like a savory one. They put like ham and cheese inside of one.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know why I would want this. I'd probably only ever use it like twice and then forget about it forever, but it seems like the coolest invention on the planet.
My only beef here is how does it
put beef in there? Go for it.
But how does it function as an actual spoon?
Well,
like, can you like I'm just thinking because ice cream can be you need something with some
work
heft
to it, right?
You know,
so it's probably not going to make the most durable spoons, but
Yeah.
you could like create desserts on top of the spoon. So
Yeah.
it's like a tortilla chip essentially.
yeah.
It doesn't necessarily seem like it would,
Like in my head,
hold
it sounds
water.
fun, but logistically, it sounds like a complete hot mess.
Kinda, but I still really want to try it.
Like the fact that you can eat your spoon.
Mhm.
I like the concept in theory.
Well,
I just think executing it actually is just not what you think it is in your head.
There was a company that came out with, and this is a few years ago, edible spoons, but they were much, much more like durable. It was more like a hard, almost like hardtack.
Did it have a taste? So it had a bad taste to it.
Well,
I guess.
and so I guess they came in
And it
2. There was like a savory and a sweet. So like
Okay.
you could eat like the ones I saw were like one was eating tomato soup with theirs,
Yeah.
and then like ate it afterwards. The other person was eating ice cream with theirs, the sweet one, and
Okay.
chomped on the spoon. But that one looks like it was very hard to like crack through and break through.
See, that would be my...
These look like they're just more like decorative.
And even if it is a soup, how far in the bowl do you get before the spoon just disintegrates?
Yeah, but you have 4 of them. You can make 4 of them.
If you make 4, but I don't know. I love the concept.
It's one of those things that's like, why the heck would I waste money? But then
I think it sounds good on paper.
Right.
Because I'm like, yes.
Okay, well, I'm also a sucker for kitchen devices.
Yeah.
I got a thing recently that is my new favorite kitchen toy. It is it's a mandolin, so like, chopper, like not like a tiny guitar.
Right.
But like a chopper for like onions and stuff. But on one side, it's got this lever thing where you can put like a quarter of an onion on there, and it's got a grate, and it pushes it through and just dices it perfectly in one swoop.
Yeah, that's been around for years.
I'm sure, I know it has, but for me, it's
new?
like my favorite new thing. I made pico de gallo over the weekend.
Yeah, okay.
And it was super easy, just all in one thing. You rinse everything off in the end, and then add your extra stuff. It was super easy.
My wife got some chopper thing over Thanksgiving that she likes, and it was something that I think her mom found and or her sister or somebody.
Right.
And they used it over Thanksgiving, and she loved it. I'm sure it'll sit in a cabinet for the next 20 years until we use it again.
It's the same reason I want to call Temu 1 in 10. Because 1 out of every 10 things you get are actually going to function and work.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's the stuff that you really paid about the same as you would pay if you got it on Amazon. Because like this dicer, it was like $20-something with tax and everything. That's about what I would have spent if I bought it on Amazon. And it works.
One of the gadgets like that my wife bought that now hindsight, I'm like, that was a good idea. She literally bought an onion but it's to store an onion. So, but it's basically it looks like an onion,
right?
But you open up in half, and then if you have a leftover onion, you put it in there, seal it, keeps the onion fresh, and doesn't make the whole fridge smell like onion.
Well, yeah, but that's what Tupperware is for,
right? But this is like specifically for onion, and you put the onion in it, and it seals it. And but it's different than Tupperware because it's for the onion. It actually keeps the onion fresher longer than Tupperware or something like that.
Right.
It's like a very handy device since we've had it.
I mean, and I'm all for it. Like I said, kitchen gadgets that can make your life a little easier.
Tupperware thing that my wife got a Tupperware party, I'm pretty sure, that I love, is our pickle server.
Pickle server?
Yes. So you take your jar of pickles, whatever. We use like the chips. We put pickle chips in there. So you take your jar of chips, dump everything in there, the juice, the whole nine. It's in a Tupperware thing.
Right.
Okay, you open the lid. It's got a little handle. You pull it out. It pulls all the pickles out, separates from the juice.
Oh, that's
and
brilliant.
So you just pull the pickles, boop, 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 put it back in the juice.
That is
put it back in the fridge.
brilliant.
It's one of my favorite Tupperware devices we own in our home is the pickle server.
I desperately want one now. That's an
Next
amazing.
time you're over, I'll show you the pickle server.
Heck yeah. Now I got a reason to come over. But yeah,
invention.
I love it. I'm a sucker for kitchen
And the
gadgets.
other one that people say when they come to our house is like, where did you get this from? In our microwave, my wife has procured this dome.
Okay.
That has a magnet that sticks to the roof of the microwave.
Really?
So you want to slide your plate of leftovers in there, you put the dome over top. It keeps it from splattering all in the microwave. When you're done, you put the dome back on the roof of the microwave. If you need to clean it, you clean it. But it literally just sits in the microwave as needed.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It's one of our other things that my wife found online and has been a handy gadget.
These are the kinds of things when I was a kid and I would watch the home of the future.
Yeah.
These are the kinds of things I thought, okay, that's going to be cool to have.
Yeah, we got a couple of them.
A pickle server and
the pickle one, as simple as it is one of my favorite things.
Like,
in the whole
I'll be
house.
honest with you. This is how I know I'm grown up.
Yeah.
That got me boyishly excited. I'm like, you mean you get to keep your pickles separate from your juice? Because that's the worst part at the end. Is you're like, I want to drink the pickle juice, but it's like everybody's grubby fingers have been in this.
Or the classy ones used a fork, but most of them don't.
Let's face it.
Yeah, this one.
Homie, I got kids.
You pull it out, and then it's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
It's something that should have been designed like 1,000 years ago, and I don't know why it wasn't.
I'm gonna log into Facebook and see how quickly I get advertised edible spoons.
We're gonna play our interview we have with Larry Martin talking about the Lions and their. We got another weekend of carriage rides out at the Orchard.
Yes.
This weekend, so we'll talk about that this weekend and next weekend.
It is this weekend and next weekend are the only two they're doing, I believe.
Yes, I believe you're right. So we'll talk about that with Larry. We also talked about. He's also a member of the Literacy Council. They're in the need of volunteers, so we kind of cover both bases. So we'll play that interview here in just a wee bit.
Either.
Before we do that, though, while he's looking up to see how many Tupperware things he can find, let me get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure will be crossing our area today. Not much effect on things except for gusty wind, up to 30 miles an hour. We'll be in the low 70s on the afternoon high, and we should have sunshine. Upper 30s to low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then very gusty wind possible on Friday, going up to the low and mid 70s, but it should stay sunny. Cooler for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 43 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 53%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Warm day today. Sunny, 76 for a high. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 36 degrees. Winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, another warm day, but the winds are coming with it. Sunny, 73 for a high on Friday. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 early, 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour by Friday afternoon. Friday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 33 degrees, north winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cooler on Saturday, the winds bringing in cooler temps for the weekend. Sunny and a high near 50 on Saturday. Winds will remain breezy out of the north, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Saturday night's going to be downright cold, mostly clear with an overnight low of 22 degrees. Bundle up there. And then Sunday will be in the upper 50s, sunny and 58. And then looks like we'll be in the low 60s Monday and then mid 50s on Tuesday, near 50 with a slight chance of rain on Wednesday of next week. So we'll see how all that shapes up. All right, 9:15, we're going to take a commercial break, and then on the other side, our interview with Larry Martin discussing Lions and also Roswell Literacy Council. Don't go away.
You didn't miss it. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree is this weekend in a brand new location. This Saturday and Sunday at the Artesia Center, 801 North 8th Street. Come and do your holiday shopping at 75 awesome booths, plus food trucks and Santa. Bring the kids to meet Santa Claus Saturday 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. and Sunday 12 noon until 3 p.m. Cost to enter? Free. There will also be a silent auction and a donation box to help Misty Grantham, whose husband was killed by a drunk driver. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree. This Saturday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. This Sunday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. in the brand new location, the Artesia Center, 801 North 8th Street. Free admission, food trucks, 75 booths. It's our Christmas wonderland. To learn more, visit our Facebook page at Yucca Blossom.
Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Life is better when you can just be. Be yourself. Be worry-free. Be at your best. Now you can be confident knowing the health insurance you find through Be Well & M has you covered for checkups, prescriptions, and more. Be Well & M can help connect you to a plan that may cost as little as $10 a month. It's time for you to be happy, be healthy, be insured. Let Be Well & M connect you to a health plan that's right for you and your wallet, so you can just be. Call 1-833-2-BE-WELL or visit BeWellandM.com.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by calling 1-800-GO-GUARD.
At Artesia General Hospital, our emergency department experts care for more than 10,000 people each year. Our emergency department is open 24 hours a day and there's always a doctor on duty. We specialize in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma services, making sure you have access to quality care when every second counts. From unexpected illness to serious injuries, you can trust our team to provide exceptional emergency care in any situation. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
The need to grow past our basic capabilities and experience the impossible will forever keep aviation technology evolving. Within the Aviation Maintenance Technology program at ENMU Roswell, students thrive knowing that the faculty and community are supporting their success. ENMU Roswell is dedicated to empowering students through hands-on skills training in a nurturing environment. To learn more, contact us today.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, wearing two hats, his Midday Lions hat, and his Roswell Literacy Council hat. Larry Martin back with us. Good morning, Larry.
Good to be here.
Good to have you back. And always, of course, for folks not familiar, like you said, we with the Literacy Council, it's a great organization that it's the name's in the title. They help people become literate. They do a lot of different things, helping adults with becoming literate, reading, earning your high school equivalency, or English as a second language. If Spanish is your first language, they help folks to be proficient in English. Not to mention they help youth as well too. It's really anybody that needs help with education and getting more literate. And it's all free of charge. They
Free,
do it all
absolutely
free of charge.
yeah.
And so that's the I would say one of the big tentpole things that most people would know the Literacy Council for is they do their annual Knowledge Bowl every year as one of their main fundraising events, and we have a lot of fun with that on a weekend. And you come out and answer trivia, and you either find out you're smarter than you thought or dumber than you thought, and have a lot of fun there. But really, they work year round, connecting people and helping them. So they're always looking for volunteers to be a part of it, and if you need help, there are a resource. So.
And you can volunteer for things. What we really need the Literacy Council is tutors. If you're an ex-teacher, that's the perfect thing.
Retired teachers looking for a little opportunity to do something here. The Literacy Council would love to have you, but that's not a requirement. You don't have to be a retired teacher. If you can read and write English, they've got the teaching materials and all of that stuff. So if you just have a desire and you're proficient in these things, we can help you navigate through that too. But we are looking for more people to be tutors, to help out and make a difference in someone's life. It's really probably the biggest life-changing thing you can do for someone by just spending a little one-on-one time with them and sitting through there and going through the workbooks and the various learning materials to help them become, literate or go for their college degree or whatever their goals are for the next thing. Or, sometimes it's grandparents that maybe, life happened. And you read at a lower level because maybe you're a farmer, rancher, and, education, back in the day, ranch hands and things. And as you get older, you just didn't get a chance to get your education all up to snuff. And so, but now you have grandkids and you're trying to get them to read better and become proficient. And you're like, well, I need to get up on that myself. Well, reach out to Literacy Council. Whatever your reason for becoming literate or better equipped at becoming more literate, the reason doesn't matter. If you have a desire, we'll help you do it. And obviously people have a reason because, they've hit something in their life or they want to better themselves or they need it to get to the next level of whatever they're trying to do or whatever that reason is, or be an example for family members that, when your kid's struggling through this stuff and I know when you can't do it either, you feel a little bit like you're just not being you're being a little disingenuous with them. It's like, well, telling them how important it is to read, and here I sit, So to come back and do this stuff and volunteer or to reach out for help, it's a great thing. And
well, we also have people who can help with English as a second language.
Yeah,
or first language.
So if you do speak Spanish and you're wanting to, obviously communicate, navigate life in the United States, this is a very valuable tool for you to have.
Yeah.
So please help out. What the sad truth is, we have a lot of older Hispanic families where the older members of the family, the grandparents and stuff, aren't fluent in English, and their kids are the translators / their real Sherpa into navigating through life. And sure, the kids love doing that, but at some point they're going to be adults and want to do their own thing. So it might behoove you to pick some of that up so you can at least, once your grandkid finds its dreams and what they want to do next, you're going to need some help. So
we have a few that can teach math. So, if you're really troubled with that, we can work on that too. But it's really what the client needs or what the person needs.
Kind of specialized to with that.
We'll try and find a tutor for you.
Yeah.
And we used to tutor for the Youth Challenge. We're not doing it this semester.
Okay.
So we'll probably start next semester.
All right, but in years past, you go in there and probably back in there here as they're gearing up for their new season sessions and things.
There are Youth Challenge, as I mentioned. I don't want to give them too big a plug, but that's the bit of money the state spends is to get those kids up and running.
They do a wonderful job of getting these kids, from all walks of life and kind of preparing them for being adults and functional adults and things like that. Yeah. So they do great work there. So another great organization if you need help there too. But right now, looking for tutors, looking for volunteers. So if you're kind of one of those folks that you're looking to be involved, or saying, you know what, I maybe New Year's resolutions around the corner here, you're saying I want to be more active or give back, Roswell Literacy Council has quite a few ways you can do that.
Well, that's one thing about Roswell. I keep saying this every time I come on here, but Roswell's a great little city.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved down here 20 years ago to be with my dad, and he's since passed away. And I stayed, and if you want to enjoy life, you can do it here.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't have to go to New York, for Pete's sake, or Dallas. This is a great little city, and
quite frankly, I'd rather live here. It's
that's why
a little
I'm still
more quieter,
here.
a little less hustle and bustle, lot less just flow and busyness. I prefer, I mean, we have traffic here, but I'm sorry, y'all don't know traffic until you've been back to New York City, DC, and that kind of stuff. This is just annoying.
If you do it right, you can almost go from north side to south side with the lights.
Yeah, you got to time it just right.
It's got to be just done perfectly.
Never happens to me though. I always, if I got to be there quick, it's always the worst possible scenario that I could encounter with those lights every time. But you're right. It is a great town, and setting roots here and doing that. Younger folks listening.
I started volunteering with the Literacy Council maybe 5 years ago. And I'm a member of the Lions, and I've been to the Kiwanis and the Rotary and the Optimist. And I would say the Altrusa and the Sertoma and the several book clubs. If you're getting bored with life and you're retired, find someone to volunteer with. I mean,
we got a lot of great organizations.
Oh, you bet. And they're all looking for new members because, generally speaking, as you get older, you're in one of these units, and then you pass away, and their membership dwindles from the top down, shall we say.
Well, and that's what happens exactly.
Life.
Sometimes the next generation or new blood, it takes it's hard to get them to come in, sometimes. But you're right. It's pick your passion, whatever, whether it's kids or literacy or homeless or whatever, sports, whatever. Find where you gravitate towards the most and seek ways to volunteer. There's great organizations that pretty much covering all this stuff, whether, like you said, with a lot of your Lions and your Kiwanis and all that, they like to center around youth and things like that for some of their charity things. And obviously your Harvest Ministries and your Many Hands organizations, they like to work with our homeless and underprivileged folks. And so or even churches. Every single church in town usually has something going on. Get involved with your church and to do it that way. But it's always a good thing to get involved. And if you're looking for one, well, I've got one here. The Roswell Literacy Council is always looking for volunteers. If you want to spend a couple hours a week helping and working with individuals that are trying to get their GED or trying to learn English.
Well, we got one American or United States citizenship last year. So
okay, good. That's
amazing. We don't do it, but we help them get it. So
you give them, basically set the path for them and say these are the things you need. So if there's someone looking to become a U.S. citizen as part of this too, they can put you in touch with the right people to help you navigate that kind of
I think to pass that test, they have to know more than the average high school student does.
You have to know a lot about U.S. history and U.S. government, and you need to know things like how many representatives there are and how many senators there are, and the three branches of the government and the checks and balances, which the world we live in is a little harder to find them checks and balances, but they're supposed to be there. And the Constitution and how it works and the amendments and the Bill of Rights and what are the Bill of Rights versus what are amendments. And, these are the things that to become a U.S. citizen, you have to know. So some of you folks that were just put on earth here, you should pay more attention in school because you're very fortunate to have these things. And other people see it, and you have to see the struggle they have to go through to get what you have just because you were born here. So don't take that lightly.
That's right.
Don't take that lightly. Never take that.
I want to put in a plug for the Roswell Midday Lines, which I'm president.
Yeah, that's his other hat here.
Kind of like default.
Another great service organization here in our community, and of course Lions. They kind of work a lot around youth-centered activities as well too.
Well, we're a small club here, but internationally, we're the largest service club in the world, all over. We had our convention in Hong Kong a few years ago, for instance. I think the last one was in Canada.
Nice.
So we get around, and of course we're pretty small here. Our main idea is to help kids get glasses.
Yeah, that's kind of the Lions Universal tent pole charitable thing
around
they
the
get
world.
involved with. Yeah.
And we'll take donated old glasses. I have several boxes all over town, mostly at the eye doctors.
And the older you get, the more often you have to get glasses, I'm learning. So, because your eyes just keep getting worse and worse. So you gray-haired folks like us, I'm sure you got 3 or 4 pair of glasses sitting in a drawer somewhere. You drop them off at one of these places. It
That's
helps.
what we find out, yeah. We're also, the Lions Club is supporting a carriage ride, which we do every year.
This is kind of your big fundraising event. And Christmas holidays, we all love to, part of the magic of Christmas is, the carriage ride. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your proclivities here, probably not going to see a lot of snow-driven carriage rides in Southeast New Mexico.
Well, we've had it where it was like 10 degrees one night.
We've come close.
We all got kind of froze our rear off.
But it's not really our natural habitat.
It was great.
But we can, if you want to create those memories with your family and do all that and help the Lions do what they got to do, then hopefully you come make this a part of your family tradition and come out each year. I know some families do it every single year. They're like, it ain't Christmas till I take my carriage ride with the Lions Club here. So.
And we go down 2 of the main neighborhoods that have fantastic lights, and the houses are, $800 to $1 million a piece, 800,000.
These are the doctors and lawyers.
Yeah,
and
I don't know who lives there, but they're not poor, and so they really give it up with the lights.
Yeah.
They really put the lights.
So you take the carriage and roll through, and you get to watch, and you don't have to drive. So Dad or whoever's driving, they can actually sit and enjoy the lights too, instead of paying attention to the road. Let your carriage driver do that.
We used to have 2 horses that were great, but they both died on us. So we're limited to a tractor. It's really, I find out it's really difficult finding a pair of horses that can pull a wagon.
Really?
They have to be a team, and they have to be trained to
So
do
they're
it.
together
and they have to
to
get
do
along.
it. Sure. Yeah,
So-
I imagine it's as a 2-horse. A 1-horse is one thing, but when it's a team
It's a
and
team,
2
yeah,
horses, and the
definitely.
horses probably have to work in concert, know each other a little bit, and get along. I would imagine. Otherwise, you might have 2 bickering horses, one trying to go left, one trying to go right, one trying to go at all, and the other, going a little bit. So, yeah, I imagine. So you have to tractor it up.
Yeah, and we were in both parades. I'd like to thank Amiga Tractors on the south side. They let us use their tractors.
Oh, Amigo Machinery.
Machinery.
Yeah, they got a lot of great tractors.
Yeah, they're very helpful about that.
Good deal.
And but this time we have our own tractor, so we don't have to get it from them. But in any case, it's the 8th and the 9th of December.
Okay, so
Friday and Saturday nights.
That's probably next week, I think, right?
It's
Is that
coming
next
up.
week? Yeah,
that's right. And the 15th and 16th, 2 Friday and Saturdays.
good deal. So you
following
got
each
2
other.
weekends to do it.
Right.
Friday and Saturday night. Where do you guys start at? And
we start at the Boy Scout cabin. Or
they're on
office,
that Aspen.
Aspen.
Yes. If you don't know, if you go down Country Club, and if you see the Jehovah's Witness, I believe it's Jehovah's Witness Church. Mormons. It's Mormon church. I'm sorry. It's a Mormon church right there in the corner. That road right next to it is Aspen. If you turn down that road, go about, I don't know, a quarter mile, you'll see the Boy Scout headquarters there on your right.
It's only a couple of blocks, but it's well lit. You can't miss it. There's no lights down there but us. So.
Yeah. It'll be there on your right as you're coming down there. And then so meet there, and then they'll get on the carriage from there and then go through the pecan orchard area where some of those big houses are and get to see all the beautiful lights.
Hot chocolate, and there's a warm fire.
Good deal.
And
So
chairs if you want to sit around.
So hopefully it's going to be a little cool because you don't want it being 80 degrees.
We don't need
hot
any
chocolate.
snow either.
Yeah, maybe a nice 40, 50 degree night. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Good for hot chocolate, but not where everyone's all freezing in the carriage here. So,
it's a good family. I always look for Sunday school classes or clubs or groups of people who are together. We can put 15 on a wagon.
Okay, so if you got an organization want to go as a group,
it's as good as a group. You just need to get on the webpage and which I guess I ought to mention it. It's Roswell Midday, which is MIDDAY. That's our club.
Okay.
RoswellMiddayLions.org, not com, .org.
RoswellMiddayLions.org. If you and then if you don't remember any of that, if you just Google Roswell Midday Lions, put an NM in there.
New Mexico.
Yeah, in case there's a Midday Lions in Roswell, Georgia.
There he is.
Which they may be having a carriage ride too, but I don't know.
I doubt it.
That would be a little long haul to get on that one. But and then like you said, I guess too, if you want to become a lion, if you want to be involved, like you said, they're always looking for more volunteers to become a part of it. Come out on either next weekend or the weekend after while you're doing the carriage ride and say, "Hey, Larry, what do you got to do to be a lion here?" And he'll be happy to talk to you.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah,
just a lot of time and effort, and
if you want to serve,
we do have annual dues, but that's minimal. Your time is a lot more worth.
Yeah, it's really
money.
it's camaraderie and fun. That's all part of it too. But at the end of the day, it's a group of people that want to, and in this particular case, serving the tempo of making glasses available. So children, we can get, you donate your glasses, they get them refurbished and everything, and then offer these glasses for free for the kids that can't afford to have. Obviously the prescriptions are updated for them, not your old trifocal. Well, the vision, you do, they'll adjust it for a teenager or a young child's vision as opposed to a 60-year-old person's vision.
And it's interesting. A lot of kids don't know they need glasses, and my sister, for instance, she graduated from Roswell High years ago.
Yeah.
But I remember when we were kids, or she was a kid, I was older. She came home one day and says, "Golly, those trees have leaves on them." She was like 10, and she had never seen the leaves because she didn't know she needed glasses.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you do that. And even now, because of science and things, they're able to diagnose infants with need of vision correction and things like that. So now you're starting to see babies with little baby glasses on and stuff now. It's kind of cute if you see it.
We're also starting a program where I have Kids Sight, which I have to get a little more knowledge on. But essentially, we can take a photograph of a child who's like 5, preschool to first grade, and you can immediately tell if he has eye problems.
Wow.
Now, this is a fancy instrument.
Sure.
And we're going to be going around to the schools and daycares if they'll let us. There's no charge, but we take a picture and we can tell right away that young Billy here needs some glasses.
Yeah.
And his parents may have had no knowledge whatsoever.
And so if there's families out there that maybe you have young children that they wore the glasses and now they kind of are a little older and outgrew them a little bit, please donate those too. All of those are useful here. But we're great organization here, Los Pasitos. They do the early intervention stuff, and they help families for free develop, like if they're having speech issues or vision issues or any of these things that they usually didn't detect till the kid was school age. They're now detecting when they're under 3 years old here. And so that's why you're seeing 2-year-old babies with glasses now, because back in our day, it was maybe school times when they figured out, maybe this kid needs a pair of glasses,
Well, you can detect things also that you can fix.
Yeah.
So I'm not an expert at this at all, but by taking this picture of your eyeball, they see the retina and they see the pupil and everything. And
so they can maybe correct it before adulthood where they don't even need the glasses.
Yeah, I don't know how they do this, but let's face it.
I still haven't figured out LASIK surgery yet, so I haven't figured out how shooting a laser in my eyes makes my vision better, but I'm not in that field.
They zap something in there. Yeah.
I don't know. I just know it works.
Yeah.
But come out, and again, if you want to support a great organization, come out not this Friday and Saturday, but next Friday and Saturday, and then the Friday and Saturday after that. These really the first 2 Friday and Saturdays of December here.
Yeah.
Well, technically, this one's actually the first Friday. Yeah. So the second and third of the December month weekends here. Come on out again. It's at Boy Scout headquarters there on Aspen, right off a country club there by the pecan orchards. What time do you start the carriage ride?
Well, we start at 6. It is a fundraiser, so the fees tickets are $10 a piece.
Yeah. And all the money goes to the midday Lions.
That's right. We don't. None of us taking a cut.
Yeah, all of it goes back to the organization.
Yeah, and if you carry a child, he's in your lap. That's no charge.
Okay.
And generally,
now if your child's 18 and they get their own seat,
we got to make them pay. And
your lap will thank you.
We generally have a ride for the anyway, Boys
the
Club,
Catholic churches or
the Catholic. We offer
Saints
tickets free to the boys clubs.
Oh, good deal.
And
so if you come out through that and you'd like to make a donation, that would be great. So you come out and got some free tickets.
We ask for sponsors from your big companies that like to give money to worthy causes.
Yeah.
You know, hey, like everyone.
Absolutely, yeah. The Lions would love to have that support
Absolutely.
too. But again, this is all going towards these kids and the glasses and all the great work that the Midday Lions Club does here. So please mark it on your calendars here, the December 8th and 9th weekend, and then the December, what is that?
15th
and 16th weekend.
Yeah, it's 7.
Yes,
yeah, okay.
I got radio because I was told there's no math. So.
Well, speaking of math, you know, I taught some of the kids at the challenge, and they 16, 17, they dropped out early. They didn't really know their multiplication tables. Now,
Okay.
these are the lower.
Sure, younger students.
Some, but most of the students know them, I'm sure. But some of them didn't know the multiplication tables. In 6 weeks, zap, they knew them. So that's not something that's really tough. And the literacy counseling can do that too. If you're really having trouble in school,
yeah,
give us a call.
And that's the great thing about it. If you learn the fundamentals, the basics, then everything begats from there. So, you know, if you got the basics of math, if you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and understand some of the principles and operations of how it works, the rest you can kind of figure out if you or understand whatever, you know. Once you learn the basics of math, it's not a big leap from calculus and trigonometry and all those big math words that scare the living daylights out of people.
You used to say calculus in high school, and people would pass out.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, you know, once you got the basics down good, the rest of it will start making sense. And so it's same thing with reading and writing. It's by doing. The more you read, the more vocabulary you pick up, the more, you know, the flow of things. You read different stories. You start to get. It's just like anything else. Like if you're playing tennis or basketball, you know, you keep making free throw shots pretty good. You can do them in your sleep. Same thing with reading. You keep reading. Next thing you know, the things you struggle with turn into automatic to you. And that's it's not that hard. It's not that complicated. It's just the matter of rolling up your sleeves and sitting down and deciding to make it a priority. And
well, they're also finding out that how the brain works, and certain things you do reinforces the brain, and other things don't. So if you do something once, your brain looks at it and says, "Yeah, great, okay, see you next week."
Right.
And you start doing it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times.
Your brain's like, this might be
Your brain
important.
is under your control. Then you control it then. But the brain will do what it wants.
Sure.
Unless you work with it.
Absolutely. So please, 2 things. Never be ashamed. Always, if you're looking to better yourself, don't, because I imagine in the world of literacy, especially if you're dealing with older adults that, you know, in theory think they should know better and don't, there's probably some embarrassment or some just apprehension there.
Yeah.
And don't worry about any of that. If you're trying to do better for yourself or your family, hold your head up proud and do that. And be the example, because quite frankly, there's a lot more people that probably should doing that, and you can hopefully inspire them to do that too. So please don't hesitate. Reach out for help. This is what it's here for. And it'd be so amazing that you come in and you don't know this stuff, and then we work with you 6 months, a year, and next thing you know, all those things you worried about are worries of the past. You're enjoying and seeking and God forbid, maybe reading a book for pleasure every once in a while, because you can now. You know, that's the beauty of it. And that's why and to me that's why books are way better than movies, by the way. You know, when people talk about, I'll just catch the movie, I'm like, yeah, but the book is intimate. It's you and the book. It's your pace, it's your interpretation. There's not, where the movie, you know, you're usually watching with someone else, and they got to pause it. They cut out details, and they're steering you in a direction. And books do too, but at the same time, it also leaves you open to your own. Well, maybe from this angle, and books evoke that thought and then emotion.
I saw something the other day where all of your great leaders were big readers, And you're looking at George Washington and Franklin, those guys, they read a bunch.
Sure.
They didn't just sit down and read the paper.
Well, and look at your leaders. You know, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. You look at your presidents or your senators and Congress. You always talk about books they read or quoting from, you know, something. That's where people learn is through books. You know, yeah, we have I guess you say, more modern ways to access information, but something about doing it through the book, the quiet time, you, the book, and no one else.
That's it.
It makes a difference, and you just sitting on your laptop in the living room looking at something. Sometimes it's different, and so please reach out, get involved, come out and have some fun with the Lions here and help them out. It's all really helping, you know, to better our society with the kids and the eyeglasses and everything to the Lions, and then with the Literacy Council helping every single person that wants to become better at being literate and being educated. They're there to, and again, all of it is free of charge. They don't charge you one dime when you walk into the Literacy Council and say, I want to learn how to read, or I want to get my GED, or I can't speak English properly. I Spanish, all I know. I need to get proficient in English. They don't charge anybody. They don't charge a dime. It's all volunteers.
Right.
It's all stuff. So if you are in need of help, income's not a problem. Time, you can make time. They work around schedules. I know your volunteers will work after school, after work, you know, before whatever works in people's schedules and everything. They do that kind of stuff. So there's no hurdles other than you making up the mind to walk through the door and say, I want to do something about this. That's the only thing we're missing.
Well, while we're on the Literacy Council, we have the Knowledge Bowl, which will probably be in April again this year.
Good
when
deal.
there's very little activity going on prior to graduation.
Yes, good. The calm before the storm of things going
and
on here.
I'm encouraging all the schools and Superintendent Locke particularly to help support this.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Get a team from each high school.
We
I
would
don't
love to see
care
the
who
high
it is.
schools get the early high school, the early college students, the Roswell Goddard High, Gateway, all our private schools. Put teams in there. We have our adults. I know our American Legions and some of our other organizations around town like to put their teams in, which are awesome. Love them. Come on down. But we would like maybe a representation of some of our younger legs and fresher brains.
Well, the Altrusa won 2 years in a row a couple of years ago, but they didn't win last year or this year.
We always ended up like second or third. We never win it, but we're always like right in the hunt at the end.
You're with the Legion, right?
Yeah,
The Legion team.
Yeah, we're always like right around third place. We're smart, but certain things just don't catch us right.
Well, there was one family, and I'd like to give them credit. I don't remember their name, but they came in second, just a hair second, and I think the Lions Club won first because they got a couple of smart Boy Scouts that helped us.
Oh yeah.
And anyway, they came in second. The family, mom, dad, I believe a teenage girl and two kids.
That's
two
awesome.
other kids, and they came in second with
Nice.
all the knowledge.
See, come in and show your family off. You know,
Yeah.
family could be a team too. We always talk about organizations, but you know, bring in mom, dad, the kids, whatever, grandma, whoever, your ringer, whoever it is. So it's a team of 4, if I remember right. Five. That's what it is. So, but now's the time to start
It
putting
can be a
teams
team
together.
of one if you're smart enough.
Sure,
I
but
mean,
max
let's
is
face
5.
it. Yeah.
But I don't recommend one because again, it covers anything from geography to pop culture to history to music. So you kind of like try to fill your seats with experts. Like maybe you have a music person or a history person or a sports person or a geography person, whatever it is. You kind of want to have your experts, and then you figure between the 5 of you, you kind of covered all your bases, hopefully. And sometimes it works out that way, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, that'll be in April, so start thinking now.
Now
trying
get your
to
teams
go around
together.
and-
We'll be back here in February, March promoting that. a
Yeah,
little
promoting
heavier
that
and all
again.
But
It's the way.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of bragging rights. They put on a good food spread, so if you leave hungry, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
There's usually a ton of chips and cookies and drinks and things like that. So it's just a fun Sunday afternoon of trivia and having fun, and at the end of the day, raising money for the Literacy Council and continuing the great work that they do. So good deal. If you have any questions about anything we talked about, of course, Roswell Literacy Council does have a Facebook page. You can always shoot a message there. So do the Midday Roswell
Midday Lions.
That's how it's
.org.
RoswellMiddayLions.org is the website.
Yeah.
You can go there, get your advance tickets for these next 2 weekends.
You will need
carriage
reservations because they'll fill up, and you can't put someone on there who just walked up.
And if you want an earlier time slot, those probably fill up a little faster than the later ones. So you probably want to get on this week and reserve those, because if you wait till like a day or two before the event, your time slots might already be filled up. So if you have a real narrow window when you're available, the earlier you RSVP, the better for you to have your selection and everything you need there. But if you do forget and just come on out, they will work really hard to try to get you in there. So, but we appreciate you visiting nonetheless. So even if we can't get you on a thing, maybe Larry will put you on his back and run you up and down the street.
No.
Good deal. Larry, is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share that we just...
Oh, I would want to put in a plug for, I'm with the Civil Air Patrol, being ex-military.
Yeah.
And I noticed they've got some ads lately.
They're doing some recruiting, I'm hearing.
That's basically for someone who's ex-military pilot or has associated with airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also plugging students. So if you want to form a student unit in either high school or NIMI.
Okay.
We do it with NIMI every once in a while, but they leave after we get them going, then they leave.
Sure,
you know,
they go on to their homes or wherever they were and off to the next thing.
But for adults, it's we meet at the Trinity United Methodist Church on South Union.
Nice.
Big church.
Do you guys get to fly every once in a while? Is there no?
Well, we used to have a plane, but then the state took it away. They allocate it depending on how many members you have and how many pilots.
Oh, okay. So you got to up your numbers first, and then they'll give you your plane back.
More or less.
So, if you want to get involved, please reach out. And if, like you said, if there's any former military that maybe were flyers or fly adjacent. So when you say fly, like crew chiefs and things like that worked on the airplanes?
Well, just
or
people
more
who are interested in aviation.
Gotcha.
You know, and we tie in with the museum out at the base.
Okay.
Walker.
So the ones that have the pilot license stuff, we might get you some stick time when this plane comes back.
Yeah, we have a small simulator.
Do you guys work with Walker Aviation folks?
Just a little, but I understand they have a simulator.
They
out
do,
there too,
so I'm thinking maybe that might be good people to partner up with.
If you're really interested in aviation, go out check it out.
Love it.
Come
Yeah,
on.
I had some friends. I have a friend that was big time Civil Air Patrol and been doing it from his youth all the way to adults. He lives in North Carolina now, but yeah, he was big time active in Civil Air Patrol. I want to say he started in high school, and then he still does it to this day, I think. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of it. I've never done it myself, but I've seen a lot of people and what they do, and who knows, especially young folks that have desires to be pilots. Get in there.
Talk to some of us old guys.
Rub elbows with those folks.
That's the way you learn. Yeah.
Get some seat time in some of these simulators, and next thing you know, you've already partway towards working for your pilot's license.
Right.
And all you did was have fun with Civil Air Patrol.
Well, I have a nephew who wasn't in the military. He learned to fly, and he flew from Mesa out of Roswell here for a while.
Okay.
And he ended up with the Delta.
Nice.
Making big bucks.
I'm about to say.
Never in the military.
And I hate to tell you, but we all see what's going on in the airline industry. They are severely lacking in in qualified people in all aspects of the airline industry, from pilots to air traffic controllers to mechanics. So if you're looking to do something in a career field that's highly in demand, well-paying, and you can kind of write your own ticket where you go with it, look at some of these aviation industry jobs. They will definitely pay the bills, and the work's pretty fun.
And there'll probably be airplanes around for a while.
And you'll get to hang out in airplanes all the time, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So, so reach out to Civil Air Patrol. This might be your chance to open up your whole world to you and explore a whole new area you didn't even realize this is something you're into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good deal. Put it this way. If you have any questions, ask Larry when you're out at the carriage rides here. He'll be happy to point them out to you.
You bet.
Good deal. Did we get it all?
I think so.
Well, thank you very much. We'll see you here, and we'll get you in, obviously, here a bunch in the start of the year as we get closer to the Knowledge Bowl and all that. But please, come on out and have some fun, ride the carriage, have some Cowco, and help the Lions Club here keep doing the great work they do in our community. So, good deal. Well, thank you, sir, and we'll see you next time.
Good enough.
All right.
Thank you, Mike.
So let's.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street's key averages higher at mid-morning ahead of next week's meeting, where the Federal Reserve will decide what to do with the benchmark interest rate, which it has pushed higher in part to cool hiring and fight inflation. The number of unemployment applications filed ticked higher last week. The Labor Department reports applications rose by 1,000 to 220,000 for the week ending December 2nd. This was in line with analyst expectations. The leaders of China and the European Union have held wide-ranging talks. Among the issues raised, deep divisions between the two sides over trade practices. Overall, electric vehicle sales hit a record this year, but they're also falling short of expectations amid the industry's drive to transition away from the internal combustion engine and quickly toward EVs. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
I think we've all had the experience of getting our child some big, expensive present. He tears it open and looks at it and smiles and squeals with joy, and then he spends all the rest of the day playing with the box. Drives us crazy. At this time of year, we spend a lot of time trying to get the perfect Christmas present for all of our family members. And as soon as Christmas is over, they're often forgotten about. Wouldn't it be more meaningful and less stressful to focus on the time we get to spend with our family and friends? Even more importantly, we should take this time to remember what the season is really about and teach the importance of it to our children. This is the time to remember the birth of our Savior and commit to remembering His love for us every day of the year. Jesus gave us the best present of all, His saving grace and love. Let's share that gift with everyone we know. Join us as we learn more about the best gift ever.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi everyone, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here, you know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Knowledge is the power to see more, do more, and be more. As one of the most affordable universities in the Southwest, Eastern New Mexico University has helped thousands of people like you earn a degree. Spring 2024 at ENMU is the perfect time to get started with affordable tuition, great scholarships, and a wide range of in-person or online classes. Learn your power. Apply today for spring 2024 at enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And that's going to do it for us for today's show. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Take care.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Israeli forces struck the southern Gaza town of Rafah twice overnight, and heavy fighting in and around the southern city of Khan Yunis. Israel blaming the high civilian death toll on Hamas. accusing it of using civilians as human shields when the terrorists operate in residential areas. A shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Las Vegas Sheriff Kevin McMahill says the suspect is dead and there were several people struck by gunfire.
3 of the victims are confirmed deceased. There is a 4th victim who suffered a gunshot wound and is now currently in Sunrise Hospital, upgraded to stable condition.
McMahill speaking to KTNV. The shooter, reportedly a professor who had unsuccessfully sought a job at the school. The shooting on the 4th floor of the building that houses UNLV's Lee Business School. Also at townhall.com, House Republicans have approved a bill that would block new auto pollution limits. Ben Thomas has more.
Republicans call the rule proposed by the Environmental Protection Agency a backdoor mandate for electric vehicles. It would set the strictest ever tailpipe emission limits for the 2027 to 2032 model years. The EPA says the rule is not an EV mandate, but it calls for up to 2/3 of new vehicles sold in the U.S. to be electric by 2032. That's a nearly 10-fold increase over current EV sales and far more than the auto industry agreed to 2 years ago. The House measure blocking the rule now goes to the Senate, where it is unlikely to advance. Ben Thomas, Washington.
Wall Street is higher following its first 3-day losing streak since Halloween. The Dow is up 47 points now, the NASDAQ adding 177. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you a business owner in need of financing? Then you need Swish Funding, the better way to get the funding you need. Our simple application process takes just minutes, with funding as soon as 1 business day. At Swish Funding, we focus on your business cash flow, not your personal credit score. And we're ready to help with funding from $5,000 to $5 million. If you've been in business for 1 year and have monthly revenue of at least $25,000, you could get the affordable funding you need with no collateral at swishradio.com. That's SWISH radio.com.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert, and I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-858-1199. That's 800-858-1199.
A meeting between China's President Xi Jinping and European leaders in Beijing has highlighted differences over trade, international affairs, and human rights.
Clear imbalances in trade between Europe and China needed to be addressed. EU President Ursula von der Leyen told Xi Jinping in her opening remarks to a meeting in Beijing. The EU says the gaping trade deficit China has with Europe is because of government-imposed blockages, preventing foreign companies from getting better access to the local market. In turn, the Chinese government is expected to push back against European de-risking policies designed to reduce a reliance on Chinese imports.
BBC correspondent Stephen McDonald. A powerful earthquake has shaken the South Pacific island nation of Vanuatu, but countries in that region say there is no threat of a tsunami. The magnitude 7.1 earthquake occurred in a very sparsely populated area. Breaking news at townhall.com. The Biden administration will give more than $6 billion to a pair of high-speed electric rail routes in the West. One route planned between Las Vegas and Los Angeles area, another connecting cities in California's Central Valley. This signals a commitment to high-speed rail. It's a long way from the Alaska wilderness to the busy city of Chicago, but one young pup is far better off for making the trip.
Found all alone and starving in remote Alaska, an 8-week-old northern sea otter has a new home, the nursery at Chicago's Shed Aquarium. The pup was initially taken to the Alaska Sea Life Center in Seward, but the Shed Aquarium is one of only a few facilities in the U.S. with the specialized resources required to care for rescued otter. The young pup said to be doing well along the road to recovery, expected to remain in the sea otter nursery for a few more months. Rich Thomason reports.